Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the St. John's GET podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about MMORPGs and how they were so common in the 2000s, and now they're slowly on the downfall. So, today, we're going to be playing WoW, and we'll just talk about it from there. Alright, so John, you're the big expert on WoW, because you tell us all the time about how you're sitting there and you grind all day.
That's true. I am very into WoW, especially right now with Classic being on the rise with the release of the old first expansion that they're doing for the Burning Crusade, but they're gonna re-release it, and it's really cool. So if we want to talk about, let's say the beginning of WoW, we still need to talk about, I think, what defines an MMORPG itself. So an MMORPG is essentially a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. And in terms of whatever that role playing might be, can be very loose, but usually it comes down to just a lot of people getting together and they're just gonna, depending on what game it is, it's usually like, all right, you're gonna level up, you're gonna get new abilities, you have roles, those roles carry out into what the content of the game itself, and people go from there. So with today, me and Paul are actually playing the most recent version of World of Warcraft, and we're doing their tutorial island right now that they introduced within the I believe it's either the Shadowlands expansion, which is the newest one, or it was the one before it, which they called Battle for Azeroth, where they added a bunch of new playable races, and the whole point was to. Okay, I see your character.
Okay, let's say,
Oh yeah, you have the you have the core hound.
Yeah, I just got a pub right
That's
now.
cool. Yeah, I forgot that they did that. I have a bunch of pets too. I could show off those if you want. Like my balloon.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. There's like a quest.
What?
I have a balloon. It's just the Alliance balloon. There's a Horde one as well. You go talk to an orphan, and then you give him a bunch of balloons, and he flies into the sky. And you never see him again. It's just a random quest. I don't know why. I also have a chicken. I also actually no. I'll show this one off. Here's Baby Winston from Overwatch.
What? Really?
Yeah, the one that you have now. Who is this person?
I don't know, it's like, oh.
Oh, he's gone. Actually, hold on. Let me invite you to this group I'm in, so that way we can actually be in a group. Because the group setting is different, right? Like they might give us like roles. So like my role is a DPS, so it's to pump as much damage as I can, and same thing with yours. And the roles will change as we play. So we should actually probably do the quest together. I think we can. How do I link it up? There's a way to do this. Hold on.
Well, I have resizing the situation. I think are we?
Oh, I can't sync with you because you're in a class trial.
It says you're not on the quest.
I'm not on the quest yet, yeah. Well, we're gonna go through things together, I'm pretty sure. It just says that party sync failed
now we're on the quest.
because a party member is on a class trial. I think it's just because it's letting you play the game in case you want to like. Wait, did you select something to do a class trial? I'm just curious.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, maybe not. But who knows?
Were we supposed to test? Oh, we were supposed to test the thing on him.
We are supposed to test the thing out, right? This here. I'll try using it.
I really forgot how to use it. Okay, oh jeez.
Oops. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Wait, did that count for you though?
No.
Oh no, you actually have to use things too. All right, so you see this one over here, just on the right side of your screen.
Am I supposed to put it on my backpack? Please
No. There's like a item in your inventory now. It's called the Resizer version 9.01, whatever it is, right? And then you're gonna use that on it. But on the right side of your screen, does it say quests? Just if you see the item in your inventory, press B and open up your bags. Yeah, perfect. That's it.
There we go.
And now it turns small. Now you should do it on the next one.
That's pretty much it. This is what
Just
we're
watch
doing.
out, Paul. Don't make sure. Oh.
Oh.
What just happened?
It blew up.
Well, yeah, that board wasn't supposed to blow up, Paul. Next time.
Don't look at
All
me.
right. But let's go back onto topic, right? So, in regards of the MMO genre and old school like RPGs, like being in like the early 2000s, there was a lot of them.
Yeah, no,
Definitely, WoW was definitely a starter. I want to say to the impact of how crazy it might have been, but it's changed since then. Like Everwinter, or Everwinter. Oh no, I'm sorry. EverQuest was one of them. Now it's really not anymore. I mean, the first one is, I think, and the second one's still around, but no one really plays it. Oh yeah, now you're probably on the boar mission.
Yeah, I'm on
So
the
like
board.
the game is just gonna tell you to press the button and do the mini game thing, which is kind of cool. It's entertaining though.
So there was like tons of them. Like WoW was one of the major, like the first major ones. And what else was there?
Exactly.
EverQuest,
EverQuest.
Fusion Fall was one of them.
Fusion Fall was one of them, but like they were more marketed to like not like kids, because if you market to a kid, it's like bad, right? It's illegal to kind of do that in the
I thought
beginning.
they were though.
Really? Because I played one called Build-A-Bearville, where actually if you make a Build-A-Bear, there was this little code you would input onto Build-A-Bearville, and then they would stay in your backpack of the character you play. And then if you have multiple Build-A-Bears registered, they hang out in your house, and you could pick which one you want to put in your backpack.
Okay, I mean it reminds me kind of like Webkins was, I would say, like one of those like things, but a game like that, the whole point of it was not to like a parent has to initially be the one that picks up the price, like of the payment. So you
Yeah.
can't market it to a kid. That's why I'm saying like you have to end up, a parent's gonna spend money on the toy of the plush. That way it actually the kid can get the code and then go online and do the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think you needed a Build-A-Bear in order to play it, though. I don't really remember. I know they're making a rewritten version, so people will probably be able to have all of the Build-A-Bears available, but I don't think you actually needed a Build-A-Bear. I think you
Right.
could just create a character, and then if you had a Build-A-Bear later on, you could just put it in your backpack.
Okay, so then it's a different story then if that's the case.
There was no, like, VIP memberships or anything. There was a free VIP membership. Well, it's not VIP, but it was like this special title you would have if you logged on every day and you filled out like this little quiz. It's called like a junior cyber guide or something like that, but it was just a special title. Nothing
Okay.
really paid in the game though.
All right.
Yeah.
But like that's like how like they've kind of split. I feel like that, like a lot of different ones. Maybe people like our age grew up with like ones like Wizard 101. I know Pirates 101 came out. That was a thing.
Yeah, those.
Pirates of the Caribbean Online was one of them.
Yeah, that was another.
But
Like how we mentioned, Fusion Fall too.
Fusion
and all
Fall, that was, yeah, that's a big one. I feel like a lot of people remember that. If you ask any group, I feel like anyone that's like from, our age or like in the early, someone who was born in like the early 2000s, you probably will end up finding somebody with that knowledge or have played either a Wizard 101, a Pirate 101, a Pirates of the Caribbean Online, or a Fusion Fall.
Yeah.
And you will definitely get someone be like with like those moments where that memory is like, oh my god, I remember that, right? So like, it was definitely like a cool thing for people to have to remember. It's like that idea. All right. So you gotta buy this thing, right? Do you know how to buy this stuff? All right. Do you know how to equip it? Oh no, we have to also sell something to this person.
Oh, we need to sell something. Oh.
Yeah, it's just like the tutorial to make sure you know how like things work. You know how to buy, sell. And I'm gonna guess that you do. Also, here's the thing: if you're a new player, right? Like you see how this guy's in a motorcycle right now, so that's like a new player mount thing. But it really doesn't matter anymore because nowadays you can just get a mount at like the first level, I think. Like once you get out of this tutorial thing. So like this guy is still riding around in the cool like noob mount, I guess. Where,
Like the guy in the motorcycle we saw drive away yesterday.
Yeah.
No, that guy was actually in a mount. This guy is like driving in like a where he's getting driven around by like a chauffeur kind of mount. And he's like in a shotgun like seat of like a motorcycle. Like that's a different one. So it's like there's little things like that. But I don't know, a lot of these old MMOR. Oh, did we say Toontown? Was that one?
We did not. No, wait, we left out Toontown.
Toontown is huge. Like that's actually a huge one.
Yeah.
And you definitely could like remember this growing up. If you've seen if you went on TV, if you were watching TV and you saw their advertisements, they heavily put in a lot of advertising in their campaigns on TV because they knew a lot of kids were watching TV at the time. Like TV was huge. Like Nickelodeon was a big shit like a broadcasting station. Um, what other one was it?
Cartoon
Like
Network.
Cartoon Network, yeah. Even maybe like I'm not even sure like what else could be considered in the.
Boomerang.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I would say
Boomerang.
Boomerang. Is Boomerang still a thing? It is, right?
Yeah, it's still
Nicktoons.
around.
Oh,
Okay.
4Kids. Well, it used to be 4Kids, but then it rebranded to multiple
Oh,
names.
okay. Wait, Paul, what'd you run off to? Oh, you're up here.
I'm doing all the quests right now.
Did you?
4Kids was like the Saturday morning cartoons, so
Yeah.
they definitely targeted that age group.
Wait, Paul, what quest are you doing?
I have Who Lurks in the Pit.
Is it called Westward Bound?
No, it says you're on none of the quests for
Oh
some
no,
reason.
I think I missed one. I need to run it back. Hold on.
I don't even have that West one.
It just says meet somebody in a thing. What's your quest called again?
Who Lurks in the Pit? Everyone here has a quest. There's like,
Oh no, well, 'cause I picked up a quest and it's called a Shaman's Duty. It's supposed to teach me how to do like a spell.
well, that's right. You have that. I have a Warrior's End, but there's two other ones we should have the same of.
That's so bizarre. I don't know how. Maybe I missed something, and that's why. Who knows? Whatever.
You
I
know
need to
an MMO that was heavily advertised as a kid? Jumpstart. I don't know if
jumpstart.
Jumpstart is
Jumpstart. Wait,
still around. It was like this little educational kids thing. The one thing I remember is like the kids riding on dragons or playing soccer or something.
wait. I remember one similar to this. Wait, Pop. What was
Oh,
it? It was like Poptrica.
Pop Tropica,
That one I
yeah.
remember.
is
I
that the
remember
one?
Pop
Is that the one
Tropica.
where you had to go buy a like a pops like kind of like character, and then like that character would be like transmitted into the game?
No,
No, but I
no.
know what you're talking about, and we
That's
still can't remember the name of
that's
that.
UB Funkies you're thinking of.
The UB,
Oh,
yeah. Or
really?
you had a UB like a UB soft. No, what am I saying? UB soft. You had to take a USB and like stick them in or whatever into
Yeah,
your computer.
I had a few of those things because I remember they had a like crossover thing with like Speed Racer back then. So I would, what's it called?
Oh yeah, I think you're right about that. I think I might remember that
So that was the
actually.
Oh,
reason
there
I
was
got
a
it.
Barbie MMO at one time.
Was there actually a Barbie
But
MMO?
it died because I think you had to pay for a membership to go into a lot of parts of it.
Hmm.
And you would receive a free trial if you bought certain Barbie things. Like I had a Barbie MP3 player that had a few Barbie songs on it, and I could customize the little Barbie
Okay.
thing. And I got maybe 3 months free to play on the Barbie game, and then one day it just shut down. So I'm pretty sure it's because of the VIP thing. It was a lot of money for the VIP.
Okay. See, that's the thing though. Like a lot of these old school MMOs, like you had to like buy a subscription for it. Old WoW back then was the same thing, and even WoW today is still the same thing, right? Subscription
John, how do
based
I get things off my
server.
hotbar? Like
Define how do you get things off your hotbar?
above like the abilities, I have stuff on a bar here and I can't get rid of them. Please help me.
Is it saying like it's like a box and it's like telling you something?
I put items there that I can equip and I don't know how to get rid of them.
Oh, so hit B, right? Actually, no, just whatever items you probably put there, just drag them off the hotbar. So just click them and drag them off. If it doesn't work, you might just need to hold shift and then click.
Oh, thank God, there we go.
Yeah, there's a way to change it in the interface. You can change all those things. It's like an action bar, like lock action bar is a thing, and then you could like change it by doing the shift key or whatever key you change it to, right? Um, but like I was saying before, right? A lot of these MMOs from back then were subscription based, right? Toontown was a subscription based. You had to pay like what, like $15 a month or something, right?
Think so.
I think, or like, I think it was like 10. I think they made it cheaper. Wizard and Pirate 101 was the same thing, and Pirates of the Caribbean Online, Fusion Fall was the same thing. WoW was Club Penguin. I think you had to do it though too, right?
Club
You
Like,
didn't have
You
to,
didn't
but to
have to.
receive special benefits, there's a VIP
so,
pass.
so the incentive, or they incentivize like the additional purchases though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that explains a lot though in that case. So a lot of these old MMOs, like you had to pay a subscription to go play the game, and it was kind of necessary for like the developers so they can keep like
Keep the games
one,
alive.
it's for funding for the company. Two, it's to make, yeah, exactly, keeping the game alive. And three, I want to say it's just so that way like they have funding to like improve and make more content, right? And in the case of like WoW, like it's one of those big ones. Like that's a big thing because a lot of the content patch drops like only come out of like the funding in that case. So, um, what was like so like the first expansion they ever released for WoW. Let's say in this case it was the Burning Crusade. Now they're re-releasing it, and because a lot of people who play retail WoW are like, we really liked old WoW, and this is also kind of the case because a lot of these old like once an old like this expansion comes into play, these older MMORPG like expansions like they just die out, like they don't exist anymore. Like no one really like people will do the content of it like for like a bit, and then they just go on to the new content, and that's pretty much it at that point. And in this case, with like WoW, it's like all right, they've been like maybe how many expansions in like 8 expansions now or something, or like 7, and now it's all changing. In this case, in which a lot of these players are like, give us back the old stuff. So that's why they re-released the first expansion they ever did, or not even expansion. They released Classic WoW, and I was there when they did Classic WoW release, and it's like first day launch, and that was one of the most interesting moments of my gaming career because it was thousands of players trying to log on to servers that were not ready to handle the amount of traffic that it was going to produce for players. So it was like, all right, if you like were trying to log in like day one
Oh yeah,
at
wait, I
like
remember hearing about this. Yeah, no, like no one could
peak
log
hours,
in.
it was like you'd be waiting for 10 hours. Like that's how long a queue was, because about 200,000 plus people were trying to log on all at the same time. It was insane, but it was also some of the funniest things ever. Once you got in, it was also like, limited quest mobs and stuff you had to go fight and kill. So people were just there, they would just hang out and talk, and people were like making the community like thrive again. Like something that you don't really see nowadays in these MMORPGs, especially in retail. Because in retail, like you have like these dungeon group things that people would do, and it just finds a dungeon for you, puts you right in, but no one really talks and conversates in it. They just everyone knows their job, everyone knows what they gotta do, and they get in, they get out, and that's it. It's kind of sad, especially for like someone who's played the game long enough. And I've only played, like I've been on and off with what I've had to do playing the game,
Yeah.
but definitely like it was a fun thing to experience. I will say, like for that first time. And like for everyone's like first MMORPGs and stuff like that, like the first impact that they get and the experience they really have is important, right? So like Toontown, like imagine like the first time you went to a cog building or something, right? Like if you were playing, like that's like a large content moment that like people don't know what's going on, and or like even like the first time they get into like a group fight, right, where everyone gets on the street and everyone lines up and they end up fighting those the cogs, right? And it's like a 4-on-4 battle. Like the first time that something like that happens, it's like very intense for like a new player, or not even intense. It's just like exciting. Like it's like what's gonna happen now? What are you doing over there? Oh, are you fighting a skeleton warrior for your quest?
I need to what's it called? I need to execute him, but I'm trying to see.
Oh, because it's trying to teach you how to use execute. That's why.
Use
Yeah, I actually
execute. I
probably
don't
need to,
have execute, my guy.
Look in your go to your spell book. Press P.
Oh yeah, the spell book. I forgot.
In your spell book, you have execute.
Oh, I have a lot of things I can use.
There's a lot of spells you probably missed. Every like time you level up now, it's like you get a new spell, which is also kind of interesting because WoW has been trying to do that too. What am I supposed to do? I have to catch ghost wolves? What is this?
But back to what we were talking about, like the old stuff. Like the one that I played, probably one of the most were I played two. What was it? Pirates of the Caribbean and Fusion Fall. Those are the two I played the most. I remember back then I tried playing what was it? Star Wars: The Old Republic. I tried playing it, but I never got into it. I don't know why. I think I couldn't get it to work, or I just like it was too much premium for me to buy.
I think it was just probably honestly I'm gonna imagine that it was more or less the fact that it was a subscription thing, right?
Probably.
And even like old WoW had like that issue though too. Like they gave you like 7 days of a free trial. Like those are like little like hand pamphlets they would give you, and on those little pamphlets they give you like a code, and you'd go and you do the free trial, which ultimately was a good thing on the marketing wise. Like that's just like a great way to like get the name of it out there. That's probably why it's so known. Like it's not like any of these other like they were mostly like television ads or something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
But now you have all these like nowadays it's not even like that. Like everything's online. If you really want to look for an MMORPG, you probably just found it, or it's just one of the major ones that you see on like a free to play section in a store for like Steam or something.
Yeah. Like what was it? I remember I would play Fusion Fall all the time, but Fusion Fall was so limited without premium. It was really bad. Like Fusion Fall, without premium, all you can do is get to level 4, and you couldn't get past the first area. And I was like, oh, okay, now what?
Yeah, and that's where like a lot of these games end up like giving you that point because they want you to pay into it, so that way you can actually like give money. Well, you know, because these people need a funding of sorts, right? To end up doing the content,
Yeah.
and that's what the incentive. You know, they're incentivizing that you do. Also, now I'm a wolf. Hello.
Light speed. What did I get? What?
What?
Wait, would you say? Wait, I completely lost track because I was paying attention to a quest.
No, I just said I turned into a wolf. Take your escape. So your quest was like to learn how to do something, I guess, right? For a spell.
Light speed. And am I just fast now?
You are very fast, but you probably should come back here and do this part.
Is there more?
Yeah, you have to do this like this orb thing.
No, that's the end of it. I already finished it.
Oh, did you already do this part? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, now
Hold
I'm just really fast. Don't know why. I just am.
You know what? Because they're trying to like speed run you through it, and you don't really need to. You can take your time, enjoy it, the quest and the lore and stuff if you want to read into it. Which is also another thing I with MMORPGs. Like a lot of people nowadays, like they don't really like to look into the lore, or not like look into the lore, but like the quest detail. Like someone like had to create that, you know, in a game.
I mean, are some of them do they like hide it or just people just read through it? Because I'll admit I'm like barely reading
No,
these quests.
you might have skimmed it, right?
I do.
In my case, like I'm so like decentivized to like actually look at it. Like I just pick up a quest, I complete the quest, right? Like there's like a beginning quest, like dialogue or whatever. There's like the actual quest itself. You read through it, and then you can just complete. And there's like an end quest dialogue section where you just see what the end of it was. And I don't even know what they were. Like I just completed them, and I see on the right side defeat like harpies, burn these harpy totems, and I need to save some person, right? Like that's I just in my head like that's all I see now, and it sucks. Like I kind of like reading into these things. Like I would love like for a game to kind of like make me want to like engage back into like that, because that would be interesting for me to have, like a bit more of like a reason to like definitely like dive into like the actual world itself and get an idea through that. But it's not really like a thing anymore. I mean, there wasn't like lore in like Toontown or anything like that. You know, it was very simple. Like they kind of like advertised it with like the game almost. Like you're gonna fight the cogs.
And
That's
they're
pretty
bad.
much.
They don't
And they're
like
bad. Yeah, and
cartoons.
and they're bad, and that's yeah. They don't like cartoon characters. Like that's pretty much it.
Because I remember, what was it? The same thing with like Fusion Fall. All its story was that, oh, they are your cartoon characters that you like watching. There's actually the goo, and the goo makes evil versions of them. And I pretty much think that was the whole lore. I don't think there's anything else other than that.
I think they had like actual like I think the lore of it was actually interesting though. Like they had lore into it where but you had to like read the like they didn't let you like progress without actually like looking at this stuff though.
Yeah.
Where it was like, okay, like in the past we have an experience, or like what was it, like there's the future time and then there's like the present, right? That's like the whole like experience, I'm pretty sure, right? In the future they lose, right? That's what's happening, and they send you back to the past to pretty much deal with the incident of like preventing everyone from losing.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay, yeah, but like you never see what happens afterwards unless you pay the premium. So I never did. So I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they only let you do like so far. You got, like,
YouTube videos of it?
there were
Probably,
people who
somewhere.
like you. There's like YouTube videos out there and stuff, and then they even made like that one server. Like people try to re-release their server for it,
Oh yeah, and then it got shut down. That's right.
and it got
Wait,
shut down.
Toontown Rewritten got shut down?
No, not that.
No, well, no,
Fusion,
Oh,
the Fusion
oh.
Fall
well,
one.
you're not wrong though about that. Like the original Toontown did get shut down because Disney just felt like Club Penguin was the bigger cash cow in the sense, and it kind of was, you know, made more sense. Like a lot of people wanted to play Toontown. No, I'm sorry, I'm not Toontown. Penguin
But
over
Penguin.
Toontown, and that's because it was like a social environment thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's where they kind of decided they should go with it, and ultimately that got shut down, right? But that's the same thing. I could say the same thing with WoW, like the older WoW servers, like because like once these old new expansions came in, the older versions of the games like they kind of ceased to exist. So that's why these servers exist now. But originally they had people that created the servers. They had entire like dedicated like fans that built the servers up from ground scratch, I think, and or like from like the data that they had piled up beforehand and such. Um, and nowadays, and then like what happened was that Blizzard found out, and ultimately, it makes sense now what they tried to do. Like they tried to like pretty much push the game on their side, right? They wanted to like make people like if you want to play it, you have to pay through us, right?
Yeah.
Which is it kind of sucks to see that. Like, but if you were gonna do that in the first place, you should have done it in the beginning, right? Like you shouldn't have made everyone wait so long.
Yeah, I know.
And that's definitely the issue I would say I see that kind of like comes into all this is that they didn't think about the long term of like that part, and they kind of like focus on like the short terms where it's like, all right, what's our current player base count, like how much money are we making in that, like are they still playing, right? What kind of content do we need to give them to like incentivize they keep playing, whatever the case might be. It's like a lot of those like at least in that's like the WoW sense, right? And that's why they're releasing the classic server that they did, right? It was successful, like extremely successful, and now they're releasing the new version of the TBC, the first expansion they ever made. But now what they're trying to do is they're trying to like really milk people for their money. Also, come over here. There's a little quest
Wait, I was
we
about to
can
say, wait a minute, there's a quest here.
do. This is the thing I was telling you about before. I asked if you got to this part.
It's a big bear.
It is a big bear. It's also an elite bear. So elite mobs in this game are like much harder to take down. Like we might be doing like only like a couple like 20 damages and stuff, like 40. Like this boss or this monster has like 600 health, and it hits like a truck, depending on how long you fight it for. It might have mechanics like that.
What?
Like it just like charged. So it's like a idea. It's like okay, like avoid the charge. You know? Try not to get hit by the big damage. Once you defeat him, there is your the chest in here that you can loot. And get some nice fancy stuff for. Which are, in my case, shoulder pads, but the shoulder pads I have now are kind of cool. So I will not be taking those off.
Oh, yes. I'm one step closer to having ridiculously broad shoulders.
Wait, actually, wait, hold on. Stand still, let me see your character. Your character definitely looks like a hero of the Alliance, alright? That is definitely what that looks like.
Is that good or bad?
No, I mean, okay, well, you're wearing plate mail, right? Like, plate mail looks cool. I think that's, like, a thing with MMORPGs, though, too. Like, armor sets are, like, something that players, like, incentivize, like, putting time into, like, trying to make themselves look so cool, right? And in this case...
I just remembered, wasn't there a Warcraft movie?
There was a Warcraft movie. You are right. You are not wrong about that. They made a Warcraft movie. Oh, yeah, we also have to do this quest. Hold on. Don't mind that person.
Yeah, I know, I'm becoming an ogre now.
It's all ogre now.
Is it cinematic styled or is it live action?
No, it's a live
It was
action.
live action.
It was live action.
I remember watching it. It was really bad.
Did you actually watch it? Wait, really?
I just...
Why do they always resort to
I
live
just
action
got
and
bored
not
and I just watched
cinematic?
it.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna explain my opinion on that movie if you want to, because it's based on the older RTS games that they had, right? So in that regard. Oh yeah, hold on. Wait, type /wave. Do you know how to type in the chat yet?
Yeah, well, what about it?
All right. So they want you to wave at these people. It's just trying to teach you how to do like emotes. So in this case, I just /wave, and you could do an optional slash dance, and then everyone starts dancing.
This optional dance, what? Dance?
Yeah, they do like there's like optional stuff you could do for like quests in this game. Usually they give you like more like rewards and stuff like that, or like more loot. But they just did their dance because I did the slash dance for them. Like there's a bunch of different dances. Like your character has a different dance than I do because you're a different race than me. The females have like every female gender in this case, or the opposite
I didn't
genders
realize
have
I was
different
dragging them
dances.
behind me. Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, yeah, you are dragging them behind you. Yeah, that is a thing that's happening right now. But the Warcraft movie was ultimately a movie for the fans. It wasn't a movie that like you weren't supposed to like, expect anything crazy. It was a movie meant for people who really were invested into the lore, and they wanted to see what on a live action stage, because that's like World of Warcraft before World of Warcraft. That's why it was just called Warcraft, right?
Yeah, because I remember watching and I was like, oh, the main orc dude just died. Oh,
Oh yeah, so that guy's name is Durotar. So he's like the big orc that like I think his name is Durotar. He ends like the current big orc of like recent WoW. His name is Thrall. So it's like a lore thing, right? So like the lore is here. Also, this person killed this thing, so we have to wait. So we have plenty of time to talk then, I guess, about more things. In this case, what was I trying to say like before this? I'm trying to remember where I
the
was before I got
Warcraft
out of
movie,
topic.
like your opinions on it.
No, before that even. It was
Oh, armor sets. You're talking about armor sets.
Old Lord or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about like lore. Yeah, like lore and MMORPGs is important, right? Like WoW had like based a lot of their MMO, like their MMO off of those RTS games they had exist, right? Like, I think that's like a bit that like makes people want to play the game more, especially for like the older demographics, like people who like probably do read the quest dialogues and details in those cases. But I think no, in my head I'm forgetting where I was going off with something like this. I definitely. Oh, was it about like the MMORPGs and like the ones that got shut down? I think that was part of it because I mentioned this to you, Paul, before, right? That the original classic WoW servers that people made, like fan made servers, they got shut down, right?
Yeah, then they got shut. They got shut down. Then Blizzard did. Blizzard did something with it. I
Blizzard,
remember.
but Blizzard reintroduced them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of fans like got outraged at it.
Exactly. So there's like one of those famous YouTubers. His name is Jontron, right?
Yeah.
And then Jontron made a video about it because, I mean, because it's inspiring to him, right? Like that was something that like it resonated with him. Like everyone's probably played like WoW at some point, So like for him, he like felt like it was a controversy that he had to like talk about it. And in his case, he like it's like a small video, right? But you said that I think you told me the video doesn't even exist anymore, right?
Yeah, he took it down.
Which is weird, and maybe because Blizzard asked him to take it down or something.
I remember him saying like it was like, oh, it's not like one of his regular JonTron style videos, so he didn't want it on his channel.
Well, you know what? It's not a regular styled video for him, but like I felt like it was important. Like definitely like calling them out on it. Like that's like something that like I felt was like important for him to do. Right? He called out a group of or a company for what they for trying to do something that they were gonna incentivize on later on, and it's just like, oh, like you could have done it any other way, but like that's what you had to do. And I understand, like, okay, now they're making money off of it, and it's like their player base is like it's gone up more for classic WoW. Now they're doing TBC, so like that's gonna be another big day. You thought like the 200,000 players going into like 6 small zones to start was gonna be bad. Imagine 200,000 players trying to get through one door. I'm ready for that one. It's gonna be
wait, I remember more of this. Wasn't it they were like waiting in a line for it or something?
So imagine, okay, so that's like, yeah, when like for day one, it was people waiting to kill like one guy, but it was like a line of like 50 plus people, like, and the community members were just making a line, because that's just, like, that's my point. Like, everyone was like, oh my god, we're gonna wait on the line, right? And then you had people who were like, screw it. Like, some people were trying to cheat and cut the line, right? And then they would get like booed out by like the people, which is like very entertaining.
I
I thought
remember seeing that. That was hilarious.
that was funny. I'm gonna be honest, like that was actually funny, and I was there like amongst the people in the groups trying to quest and do those things, and they're very funny, very entertaining. I will definitely say that WoW like made that experience like something I don't get to do ever again, right?
Yeah, because like, what other game do you know where people as a community
Wait
will?
on a line. Yeah, exactly. What community out there is gonna wait online to do one quest? Because everyone's like choke holding, like everyone's kind of like in like a choke hold with like the funnel of like who's gonna get out of the choke, right? And for these people, like it was great. It was like a great first week for players, and you won't get that moment again, you know. So like that's why I feel like MMORPGs definitely like resonate, like for like something that you always will remember, like after playing it years and years down the line.
Yeah,
Especially in my case. What is the quest we have to do now? Disabling the runes, controlling somebody. Oh, it's back in the front.
we
Okay.
gotta go all the way back up there. Yeah.
I'll see you later, pal. I'm gonna outspeed you on this stupid wolf.
Yeah, I get you're the wolf, and I can't activate light speed again because I don't know
No,
what
I
it
know.
is.
I'm not gonna like run past you like that. That'd be messed up. We have plenty of time to talk while we walk back. You know.
Yeah.
Um. What other MMORPGs were good? Oh, like RuneScape was like a very old one too. I forgot. That's like an actually great old one that we should talk about.
Yeah, no,
The old school RuneScape that's what it is now, but the old like the original RuneScape, which is another subscription based MMORPG. But that was a really cool one.
No, yeah, and then it came back. Right? Apparently, there's a new one on Steam or something, right?
Yeah, there is a well that they made no, it's old school. It's
I thought
just
it was a
based.
new version they made or
Well,
something.
there is a new version, and you just have to go and play the new version if that's the case.
I don't know what the main difference is between the two though.
I think it's just a lot more content has been added on years and years in. But like the old school one, it's very grind heavy. Like that's just the thing. Which is what the old school WoW was too. Very grind heavy. Also now they want us to do a group finder. So they're gonna want us to try to do this this dungeon thing.
How do we?
Did you
Oh,
yeah, just enter it.
are we stuck waiting for one more person?
No, I am the one more person. I just want to make sure everyone clicked it. Alright. So this is like a dungeon. They just put you into the actual like zone of it, right? And everyone like appears and everyone's gonna show up. Oh, actually, no, wait. This guy's already fighting.
Oh wait, I got
The
more
bat-
stuff. Wait. Oh, no, he
Yeah,
was
what,
putting on
what do you mean you got
skills.
worse?
Putting on skills.
It's alright. I'm trying to think what other thing. Well, like that's what like old school RuneScape was. It was like very like you would be spending hours and hours. Like, and I thought WoW Classic was bad just to get like one level on a character. Um, at least in like the end game. But like in old school RuneScape, it would take you hours to get 1 point in a skill, and there's 99 points in a skill. So it's a very, very dedicated grind, and some of them are like horrible grinds. Like there's one called rune crafting, which is like you need runes to cast magical spells in the old school RuneScape. To have those kind of runes, you had to go and craft them because like there's only like a limited amount of a market, right? People buy out the market. There's like an auction house thing that they have in the game where people they'll buy and sell on it. In the case of whatchamacallit, with them, or in this case, like with the to cast your magical spells, you need these
Oh my
runes.
god,
So
stop. The game's giving me a tutorial to equip the thing, but I already did it. It won't
oh,
quit.
it might just be like it's trying to make you equip more loot or something. It does that. I don't know. It's just a bug, or not even a bug. It's just a part of the game.
It's already equipped. That's the thing.
Just unequip it, equip it again.
I did 6 times.
Alright.
Oh, there.
You tried. It's okay.
Alright,
Don't worry
it's
about
stuck
it.
on the screen. It's there. Staying
There
there.
is a command to slash reload your UI, but it will make you load the entire like game again. Not like the entire game again, but like in the instant we're in right now, like it's gonna make it you need to reload like everything, which is stupid, but it's a thing. But yeah, like so in that grind, you have to run to like a rune crafting area, which is like out in like a wherever, right? It could be like a mountain somewhere. and then you have to run back to your bank to deposit all those runes, and you only have like 24 inventory slots, right? And you gain like a small amount of XP every time you craft the rune, and it just keeps going, and you do this like for hours, to the point that but you have to be there actively and do the stuff still, like to at least transport back and forth. So it's one of those moments where it's like, oh my god, like how long is this going to take? And you're just there for like maybe you could be doing it for a day, like an actual day, like to get one level.
Day?
Yeah, like an actual day.
Why?
But like that's people like that grind, and they like that old school of stuff. Also, you just got a sword.
Tux 2. Oh my god, wait, this is really good.
Yeah, you actually got like a legitimate sword, and I got a shield too.
What makes this item non-tradable? I mean, I want this thing. So what?
Oh yeah, prefer. I think it already. Oh no, you know what? Because you're in a group. Like I could give you this shield I have now. Do you want a shield?
Did I get a better? Wait, I think I got. Did I get a better shield? Oh, I did. Hold on.
What you doing? Did you get this one?
Not that.
Ah, okay, never mind.
I got a sword.
What do you want the shield?
I mean, I'll take this shield if you're just gonna give it.
All right. Wait, actually, hold on. Let me see this.
How do
Because
you-
there is transmog.
How do you give to other people?
You have to trade. You have to go. We should probably start going because there's a guy waiting for us in this game. I don't want to hold that guy up forever because look at all the stuff he's doing over here.
Oh.
Like,
Well, yeah. That would
yeah,
be...
that like there is another player in this group. I don't want to hold that guy up, while we play the MMO, as we're trying to discuss who gets the loot, which is a thing in old school like WoW though. That's actually interesting. Like old school WoW compared to new school WoW, like there's only like a limited amount of loot that you might get from like a raid boss or whatever the case is, and that loot can either be like it's just RNG whether or not that loot dropped on that boss that week, right?
What?
And yeah, that's just how it is. Like, and then next week when you go do it, like the boss might drop a different set of loot entirely, or it could drop the same exact things, and you might not even get the stuff you were trying to get the entire time. Like that's just how it works. Which is like, very interesting, but also very it's like it keeps you in that grind, right? But at least you do the grind like one night of the week, and then like you could just go home or something, right? But it also kind of keeps you like held to like keep playing the game, which kind of sucks, I guess, right? If you're like you want the gear now, but you can't do it. Oh, I gotta get out of this.
Oh, okay. Ow, he did a lot of damage.
He does a lot. He definitely hurt you there. I have healing spells too, so if you're actually like low, I can do this.
Did he just put himself in the dragon?
He may have killed himself to summon a dragon.
Well,
Well, time to fight it. Go, go, go. Also, it might breathe. Just try to get out of the way. Because you just took a bunch of... Oh my god, hold on, I'm gonna try to heal you. Alright, cool. But like, this is like...
doing.
Just keep hitting. Doesn't matter. Oh. Don't stop. Keep going. This is definitely an interesting fight. Oh my god, he's gonna breathe on me. No, no, no. But this is like an idea of like, oh, this is how like a dragon fight works, right? Like a dragon has a breath. If you were behind it and this, I don't know if this boss does it. Oh, like its wings do this like thing, right? Like sometimes a dragon might have a tail swipe, right?
Oh, there we go, finally.
But we did beat it, and we get loot too. I got, in this case, a cape actually. You might have not got anything, but
I got nothing.
You know what? This cape doesn't even look that good. Here, take it. It's all yours. Now you have a cape on, right? It actually looks nice, like with that armor though.
It matches.
It blends in, right? So this is the thing, like everyone's like, oh my god, like I want to look the best, right? So then like everyone tries to put their best like costumes together. They actually look good, you know.
Who do you speak with?
What?
Oh.
What is Baby Winston doing?
Rest until we stop the ritual.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, if you click on that, yeah, it's gonna take you out.
Look,
And now we're gonna go back to the major city, where like a lot more players should be. Oh look, it's the dwarves.
Ogres and necromancy.
Finally, a better helmet.
Excellent work, recruit. Hop on a griffin and fly home to Stormwind.
Did I get a new? Oh, I got a new helmet. Oh, finally.
You might, yeah, you probably got a new helmet. Let's see that helmet on you. Yeah, you actually look like a Stormwind Knight now, like with this armor. It looks very. I mean, the helmet kind of looks silly, but it's definitely
Over
like it
effigy.
blends
Why
in.
does it sell for so much gold? Oh my god.
Oh, you know, because you picked up like it was probably in like a treasure chest, and they just want to give you some gold at least when you start off.
Can I get on? It said get on a griffin. Oh, there's one over here.
There's, oh yeah, there's. Are you trying to get on that griffin?
He said get. He said get on a griffin.
Here,
I'm
here, here.
here like,
There's like a specific griffin we need to get on. Here it is. Yeah.
You'll not be able to return to Exile's Reach. Well, I think we're done.
Yeah. Well, we need to continue at this point. This is where like the game. If the game would stop here at this point, and we don't want to do that. We want to fly away and go to the main city, where the game was gonna. I think it's gonna give you a mount. So this will be your mount, and then we can go exploring. And I'll take you to Westfall, which is the the next place that you should definitely check out. I would say.
Yeah. Okay, so
Also-
to go back to our topics. What was the Keelan, what was the game you were mentioning to us? But Fantage. Wasn't it-
Fantage? It was
Yeah.
like an chibi anime style that was pretty popular back in like the late 2000s of our time. And I don't really know how to describe it. I know characters were like on hoverboards. You could talk to each other. There were mini games to play. You could dress your character up. There definitely was a VIP system and a trade system. And the trade system kind of totaled the game. And it became one of the reasons why they shut it down, because people were scamming each other with trading items. And that's another problem that another MMO has, Animal Jam. A lot of people scam each other on Animal Jam, and I'm shocked that game is still up because of how much scamming happens.
Wait, what's Animal
But Fantage
Jam?
was pretty cool. It was kind of cute. It was pretty fun.
Wait, what's Animal
It was like
Jam?
pixels.
Oh yeah, what is Animal Jam though?
Animal Jam was created by National Geographic. So
Wait, really? That's interesting. I'm surprised that National Geographic would make an MMORPG or whatever the case is. Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but I know it had like wolves, foxes you could be, and you just play as an animal, and you
Okay.
do stuff in it, and you could wear items and stuff, and there was also a trade system like I mentioned, and then people scammed each other, and I don't know how people think that's a flex, but people flex it for some reason, and it's kind of mean.
Can't see anything.
Wait, you can't see anything right now in game.
It's pitch black. Oh wait. Oh,
Oh
there
no,
we go.
they're showing you the city. I think.
No, it just took it forever to load.
Oh, it might be that too.
There we go. Alright, back to
Like
what you were saying
you
about
were
the animal.
oh,
Jam.
but yeah. Right.
So it's just like anthropomorphic animals, pretty much. That was it.
No, it was actual animals.
Oh, it was just oh.
Like if you were like a tiger.
It was like
you'd be
different
a
colored
tiger.
animals, like blue, purple, stuff like that. You could play as an animal.
Okay.
It had a cute art style. Let me find photos for you guys. Oh yeah, so there's like a wolf, there's a tiger, there's a pegasus, there's a hawk.
Azeroth faces countless threats.
Yeah, that's basically what Animal Jam is.
To rise up and defend her.
Is it
Interesting.
kind of like? I'm trying to think. If there's a similar one I could think of that I've heard of, because I've never heard of these two.
Yeah, I've never heard of either of them actually.
Best of luck.
Animal Jam was pretty big back then.
Explore the city with Lenny while I report to King.
I feel like a lot of like were they like is it like a browser game almost?
Yeah, I think it ran on Flash.
Oh, that's probably
okay.
they're probably definitely gone now then, because of Flash shutting down.
No, that's not true. There are ways around Flash.
No, I know there are, but I don't know if this game has it changed? You know, like
Flash has gone away, but Animal Jam Classic is here to stay. So you can still play it on PC and Mac. They just changed it.
oh, that's a giant.
That's a
Dude,
giant. Oh,
okay.
that is a giant free.
Okay.
Oh, there is a membership program with Animal Jam. I don't know what the membership is though. Cool member-only features in our animal game, which includes bonus diamonds and play wild. You could buy cool den items, pets, animals, and fun accessories.
Okay.
Be careful. Greetings.
Oh, wait, they give you
For a
directions
month,
around the
it's
town?
$6.95. For
Yeah, they-
6 months, it's $5, and then wow, okay, 12 months, it's $4.83 per month, but it's $58 a year.
Here we come. It's a bit of a run, so follow me. Hey.
I don't know. Are
So
you,
6 months is $30, 1 month is $6, and 12 months is $58.
I found
You
the
just-
master of cheese.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is a guy in WoW. He is the Master of Cheese. He's also an important quest if you're an Alliance player in Classic, because he ends up like being an inside agent to find out why there's like a secret organization that's like a part of the city.
We're not gonna talk
Very
about- We're
interesting.
not gonna talk about that.
That's a character that's wearing a outfit of Mr. Smite, who's in Classic WoW. If you did there's a dungeon that you'd have to do.
So what was
And
it,
he's
Kaden?
like
We were
the-
saying something. We interrupted again.
Yeah,
It
my
was
bad. Sorry.
about the VIP, right?
It's like
There's a
$40.
membership program. If you want a year, it's $58. If you want 6 months, it's $30. So it's basically paying for Xbox Gold.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
a lot
It's
a
not
lot of
bad.
subscription like based things are like it's always like a year's like $60.
I mean, I'd say $5 a month is fair. It's a pretty fair deal. Like it's nothing.
It's no-
It's nothing crazy, and I think it's a good amount.
Yeah, I think it's nothing really that crazy. Because you know what it is? What sucks is like when it's like when you do it 1 month, and it might be like $10 or something, right? As
1
opposed
month
to
is $6 in this game.
right,
let me
but like
see.
you see how like how much was it again? Like it was $60.
Yeah,
per
it was
year?
about $58
So like
a year.
you save $12 if you spend it for the whole year, and that's like the incentivizing for like the lower price.
Yeah.
How are you?
And
This
a
is
lot
1
of them
month,
have that.
$6.95.
A lot of these MMOs have that that kind of price. I want to say to their games. People don't horse yet.
Safe travels.
Learn the what?
Oh yeah, you have to learn how to the writing skill, because if you don't learn the writing skill yet, it's like a thing. But you can see like there's like apprentice writing, journeyman writing, expert writing, master writing, right? And they're all like necessary for like traveling faster. Like you could use any mount in the game, but like you might have a slow mount unless you get the writing training to increase. This is like the only thing they kind of kept it like old school WoW. This part here, because like in Classic WoW, every time you leveled up, like every 2 levels, you get new skills. But you had to learn them at your trainer. Now, hold on, where's my RAM? There's my RAM.
Speak up.
What? Wait, what? Oh, there we go.
You have to talk to your class trainer. And he's going to teach you about your specializations, right? Where you open your town tree thing, and there's 3 different types of specs you can be. So you're in. I'm gonna assume arms
Fury, and protection.
and protection. So 2 of them are for DPS, and 1 of them are for tanking. Right, that's where the role distribution in MMORPGs kind of comes down to. It's kind of how it's always been. In some MMORPGs, there's like utility, which is like usually a healer or a tank, but sometimes DPS have utility spells. In Classic WoW, every character spec might have a utility spell. Like it doesn't matter what you are though, if you're a tank, a healer, or a DPS, which is kind of interesting. And they're trying to make more utility out of classes within the new expansion for the re-release. So I'm gonna look forward to see how like I could possibly get like into a raid group or something by doing something like that. So it'd be very interesting for me. What am I allowed to have though? Like so arms when you're playing your character, it's the big 2-handed swords, right?
Oh,
And you smack things.
I picked the Fury.
Okay, so now you're like what they want you to do then in that case is get another one-hand weapon, and then you're gonna wield 2 one-hand weapons and be attacking like very fast.
I can't attack that
like over here, hold on, we come back. There's a supplier person over here, right? If you could probably buy the other weapon that you might need in this case.
I'm guessing great sword is a two-handed weapon.
Right, there's yeah, well you could read it, right? If it says one hand, it means it's a one-hander, right? Two-hand means it's two-handed. The old school warriors, like back then, like in older expansions, you could use two-handed you would be able to use two-hand weapons. And it like in the town tree system, you'd unlock that ability to hold two-handed weapons. And it was really cool. They don't really do that anymore though. Like nowadays it's like maybe a passive that like your character just has, right? So if you don't have that passive, well, it's like, oh, too bad. Like you just don't get to do it anymore. But when you change specs in this game now, it changes your entire class. It's just how it works now, and it's just like, oh well, I guess. So in my case, I will actually pick up another cult, I guess.
I just sold a soulbound. Is that good or bad?
What exactly was soulbound that you sold?
Handful of blood shards.
If it was like an item that you actually need, it
I'll-
probably
I'll-
wasn't needed.
I'll hold on to it for now. I have a Overseer's Mandate. Is that good or
Oh
bad?
well, you can also do this here. Like I could like click. I could do this, and say this to you. Oh wait, we're not a group anymore. Hold on, wait. Let me put you back in a group with me. So I can like, hold on, ready? If I type /P, now I can talk like this, and no one can see what I said, right? Unless you're in my party. But I can also link things in the party. So like I have all this gear on, right? I could like go to my character. I could shift and click all the gear I have on, right? And all this gear will pop up, and you can click on any of that in that tab down there, and it will show you like what they are.
Safe travels.
So like you could do the same thing with any of the stuff that you have.
I have I have waterlogged supplies. What can I do with these?
A waterlogged supplies.
I just hold on to them.
You might be able to use them or like open it. It could be like a bag that you just got. And now that you can like equip the bag or whatever it might be, you can see what's inside of it.
I have another bag. I have a Tonks trunk.
Well, I actually need to get rid of the shield I got. Just when I got a nice shield, I have to get rid of it because I want to change the type of specialization I am. I'm gonna put myself with 2 one-handers, and I'm gonna start beating things up like that. It's like a melee spec.
Is there a way to equip the? I am completely lost.
No, there's probably a way to equip the items that you have.
Oh well, I'll leave it away. I'll leave it away for now.
Yeah, it's fine. How about we just go back to
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's
Like-
go.
let's go back to playing. We can talk and figure out something after it.
All right. What's our next our next topic?
Oh, I need to if I need to finish my quest. Hold on, I did not do that.
Was it our next topic? All right. All right. I have a big question. Does Club
Sure.
Penguin count as an MMORPG? I think it does.
I'm gonna say no, and I'm only gonna say no because if you're talking about an MMORPG, we're talking about. Well, I need to find you actually, past the giant tree guy. We're talking about games that have a form of, like MMORPG, like it's like a role-playing game. Like there is an MMO portion, like the Club Penguin, right? The only thing that's RPG-ish is the part where you have whatchamacallit. Like the only RPing it would be as like the penguins, like being penguins, I guess. But in this case, you're not
How are you?
really doing that.
I think. But if,
I mean, like, no,
isn't there
you are-
more,
you-
though?
I mean, there's games and mini games and stuff, but like I don't know what you might
I would say
consider.
it's also
Like,
technically RP if you, because I remember back in the when I was playing it, you were able to be like a tour guide. You would actually like roleplay as a tour guide.
oh,
for
I
play-
forgot
There
about
wa-
that.
There was that, but then they turned the tour guide into the secret agents because no one actually did the tour guide. Everyone wanted the secret agents instead because they were way cooler.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Weren't there games of the secret agents and like there was this evil polar bear?
Yeah,
Or
the
something?
villain was a polar bear. I've played them. I've played almost all of them.
And then they had like a ninja card game.
Oh,
Card
yes,
Jutsu?
yes,
Something like
Card
that?
Jutsu.
That
I
was
love-
really cool.
I love Card
I like
Jutsu.
that.
I think a lot of people were into that card jitsu stuff.
Didn't they turn into an actual card game?
I
I
think they
remember
did.
seeing them in stores one
I've
time.
never seen them, but if there was, I would go get them right now.
Oh my god, wait, I should actually show this off in the game. This would be funny. Give me a sec, Paul. Hold on. I gotta give you something. Don't.
But what else was there? What was it? I think it's the MMORPG because of that, but like the special agent stuff. Like it's not a traditional RPG like you know this like we're what's it called? Flask.
Drink up.
Why are you giving me alcohol?
Just trust me.
What do you mean? Trust me.
Just start drinking it and just don't stop.
I have a,
You want them? I found them for $2.99 at Walmart.
This is a thing in WoW. So if you drink,
I
A
found
lot
the Call of Duty, not the Cold
Oh, no.
Penguin ones. Call of Duty trading cards. What am I thinking?
try walking straight now.
how much can I is completely smashed?
I know you can't. Yeah, you can make it so you can't even see. This is probably horrible for the stream, but it's
Oh
also
my
entertaining to
god.
show this off.
I feel completely Jesus Christ. Oh, I can't even can I get more than completely smashed?
Yeah, I am.
Is there any
I
more
think you can. I think you can. I mean, in this case, we just can't see, and also we can't walk straight.
Oh god, I keep drinking more. A drunken vomit. Oh, I just threw
Oh
up.
yeah, oh yeah, I forgot you could throw up. Yeah, I was wondering if that happened anytime
I
soon.
threw up.
I threw up. Yeah, it's very funny though. The
Oh
stream
my
is probably
God.
so confused.
No one can see anything. Why would you do this?
I just thought it would be funny. 'Cause
It
I
is
know it would
funny,
be.
but no one can see. I can't
Well, it's
see
alright.
anything.
I mean, we're only walking right now.
Oh, it hurts
not
it hurts my eyes.
I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna
I'm so sorry to anybody that's watching this. I just wanted to see if this would be actually fun. Like, I just knew it would be like one of those, but you don't
This
get to see any other game.
hurts.
If you play any other game, I don't think this is a thing. Only in WoW, I know this is a
I mean,
thing.
yeah,
but
I've only seen this in WoW.
like this is very funny. But people would do this in the taverns, like if you were in like role play servers, just to like incentivize like the role playing, right?
Oh god, don't remind me. Oh, you're making me think of that one weird server you talked about.
There is a weird server, but like in reality, it's just like those people who really push it that far. That's why.
Yeah, but you got to meet Jesus.
I did meet Jesus. That is, she's right. I did meet a guy who was role playing Jesus, and that was very bizarre. But you know, nothing's wrong with being Jesus, I guess, right? If you're in a role playing setting, I have no issue with it. It was cool. I also thought it was hilarious.
War against the Horde weighs heavily on my mind.
Oh my god.
What do you bring, Spy Master?
Oh yeah, we need to attend the war council while drunk.
I can't even see the War Council.
It's alright. It's alright. Maybe the drinks will wear off.
Is this the
eventually.
War Council? Isn't this
You know,
the guy?
This is the king,
Isn't this the
which
guy
you
from
can't
the
see because
movie?
he's blurred. No. He's not from the movie actually. He's from the newer cinematics. His dad is another character in the lore, but he's not around anymore because he sacrificed himself. And like, you can actually play the expansion. We could go. I think we can at least. I could, because I actually played the game. I don't know if you can because your account is free. Also, this is Jaina. You might have heard of her before from the lore.
I can't even see her.
I know, it's okay. You don't need to see her. It's fine. Up there she goes. You weren't gonna see her anyway. That's all right. But this is also like this is the expansion beforehand that they're just going over stuff with.
John,
So that you
how
know,
long does this last, please?
I thought it didn't last this long. I'll be completely honest. I thought it didn't last this long. It's okay. We need to talk to the king, I think, though. So.
Did we call? Oh, we do talk to the king.
Sometimes we must
So
fight.
he's gonna give you a necklace, right? Which are dog tags in this case. And then I don't know what you're allowed to do next, so you might need to tell me what's going on. Does he have another quest for
He does,
you?
he does have another quest.
Captain Garrick speaks
What's it
the
called?
The
Nation of Culture.
Yeah.
Okay, so they want you to wait. They're actually gonna make you do BFA stuff then, maybe.
What's that?
Good to see you.
The battle for Azeroth.
You know you have a bright future ahead of you. Stay safe out there.
We'll go to the docks because it might actually let you play the expansion before this, which would be kind of interesting if it did. I am still sorry. I did not think this alcohol would last that long. It does last longer the more you would have drank in the game, but it's just entertaining. I thought it would be funny.
Okay, so go back to the Club. All right, I still think Club Penguin is an RPG. I'm gonna call it.
I'll say I think after years and years of it being around, I could say yes, but like I don't think it is though. I think it's more or less a whatchamacallit. And it's there's nothing like RPG. You're not like leveling up or anything. I mean, okay, like I guess in like the kung fu mode, right, the Karjutsu stuff. Um, like you were getting belts, like that would be like your incentivized like leveling up. Did I leave you
Oh
behind?
yeah, that's right. If you buy real life stuff, you get the cards in. Now I remember how you would buy the cards in real life, and then in the game you would use the code, and then you would have them in the game as well, and it would make your build better. Now I remember this.
Was that actually a thing they did?
Yes, I actually had a bunch of builds because I kept buying cards and everything.
That's very interesting. I'm surprised they actually even did something like that though, because normally that is I mean, I guess like that's how like they're getting more. I don't want to say they're milking you, but like it's Disney. I guess like they could be in this case.
Yeah,
Okay, did you speak to her?
I did speak to her.
Oh, we're actually going to Cultiris. Oh my god. So you're actually playing like legitimate WoW now. Wait, this is actually funny. I didn't think they would do this to you. You're playing legitimate WoW, and they're gonna make you do like the lore. This is actually kind of cool.
What was it? Okay, another game I think. Okay, does Destiny count as an MMORPG or just an RPG?
I'm gonna say yes because there is RPG elements in a game, even if it is a shooter, and there is an MMO portion to it, which I'll segment off to after. I just want to hear your thoughts though.
Okay, I don't think it is because the only time you encounter like other players are just you'll see them in the hub world obviously, and then maybe you'll see them running around, but even then it's like one squad or two, and I'm trying to think what else is there. And whenever you start a quest, they all just disappear, so it's like, oh, okay, I guess they're gone. So much for that. Like, it's just multiplayer online, not massive multiplayer, it feels like.
Okay. Wait, are you watching a cutscene right now?
I am watching a cutscene.
Okay, I'm actually surprised that this cutscene is working.
But I see it as an RPG definitely, but not an MMO. That's my opinion on it.
I'm gonna say yeah, because when you go into certain areas, like nowadays, well, you know what? Back then, maybe it would be more like of the MMORPG, but like they've also condensed servers and stuff to like make it so everyone's together and will play. In the case, but whatchamacallit? Like if you go into like a certain group setting, you would see, or like in like the open world, there's like open world like quests that you could do, and like an event that might happen, like when you fight a boss, right? But like everyone will like come together to do that boss fight, if that's the case.
Yeah, I forgot about those events. There's those too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of my points. Is like, okay, like I can see like that's why my MMORPG, like that's like the portion right there. For doing like raids and stuff, like that's also like you know, a raid is a thing. You need 6 players. You don't get that in the normal groups that you would do, like
Even
for a
then,
dungeon.
oh god, we're still drunk. But even in those games, it's short. It feels like, or like it's not short. Short, and it's like there's not a lot of people. It's only 6 people, compared to WoW, where it goes up to like 50.
Well, the old school one, 40 players. Yeah. And that's what. And think about it like this: you only get like 3 pieces of loot for like a boss you might kill in a old school raid. But the bosses that like how many bosses there were, it'd be like 10, right? So like so one guy might get completely geared out like that one night, and the next like week you might get another guy that gets completely geared out, you know, or whatever the case might be. So depending on what happens, like that's where like that goes. Nowadays in current WoW, it's like a raid scene is like seen as like, okay, the max is 10 for like oh no, I'm sorry, the minimum is 10 and the max can be like I think maybe 30, 40. I don't even know. Cuz they've made it where it's like adaptable. So like depending on how big your group size is, it can change how big the raid encounter mechanics work, right? Like if you're a group of 10, you would have to like you might only have to fight like the boss, let's say, in the case of like whatever part of that raid you're doing, as opposed of let's say you're doing the next, or if you have like 20 people, I'll say, right, you might end up having to fight a boss, and then like another person is gonna have to tank a side boss that's like in that same fight, right? Because if you don't tank them apart, let's say, or something, right, like the weight, you get the raid wipes because you need to have them separated for something, right? So there's mechanics that they introduced to do these things, and the same thing happens with like whatchamacallit, with Destiny 2. But like Destiny 2's like raids are, I think, different. I've only
They're
experienced
like
the
mostly the same, just maybe
they
bigger
they
scale.
probably are there, but they're also bigger scale fights because your characters can go up, down, and all over, right? In the case of I'll say the first raid that you could ever do, right, with them, that first raid that you'd be doing involves like one entire fight where you have to have, because you have 6 people, right? One person needs to run a gauntlet thing, right? While there's like everyone else is like defending stuff, and one person has to call out like symbols, I think, for the people to like shoot and stuff like that, whatever the case is, and then somebody has to take a ball and run into like a gauntlet, right, and jump through rings. And if you jump through the right rings, you progress the fight
It's
to the
starting to
point that
sound like a Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg. What?
it sounds like a, yeah, it's gonna sound like a COD Easter egg, but that's like kind of what they did, right, with some of it. But you would beat the boss fight by doing all the mechanics like that. Oh, you know what? I'm getting one of them mixed up, I think, with the very last fight. The last fight, it's something like you need to shoot symbols, and you need to like know where the symbols are, or whatever the case. Like you'll see symbols in like the other realm, like 3 people go, and then the people who are outside, who are fighting the last boss, they need to like shoot the certain symbols or activate the certain symbol areas, right, to then progress the fight and fight the boss. And it's a cool fight. Like for me, especially in that raid though too, they have an entire area that's like actually playing hide and go seek, and if you get caught, it's some of like it's really terrifying because it's like a dog pack area, right? It's called, I think, the we just call, like, I remember calling it like the dogs or the wolves fight, where you have to like everyone's like kind of like packed up in a group, and you're trying to hide from wolves and get to areas
Okay,
to get
wait,
like a
wait.
buff.
I remember something similar to this in the first game. There was like the first raid. I remember they had this.
Mhm.
Where I remember it was like, like if you got detected and you didn't, like there was like a bunch of things walking around where if they detected you, what was it? You wouldn't die immediately, but like you had like about 3 seconds to kill the thing, or else your
Yeah,
entire squad would just get wiped.
exactly. You had like a couple seconds before the wolves would like buff up, and then they would just destroy everybody. In this case, for like our in this thing, right? Same thing, kind of like applies there though. Are you I can't tell where you are. Are you watching a cutscene still?
No, I'm finished the cutscene.
Oh, you're in Tol Dragor now. So this is actually a dungeon that you could do later, but in this case, you are more than
I
likely
think I'm
not.
still slightly drunk. My movement isn't
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, my character is still like slightly drunk. I'm still moving slightly to the sides.
God.
I didn't think it lasted this long. I thought it only lasted like for a little while. It's not like Sea of Thieves or something, where like Sea of Thieves,
Oh,
like
no.
you drink and you get like, what?
No, you just okay. That's an MMORPG, is it?
I'm gonna say, well, there's not really there's not like a like like leveling up and doing stuff like that, like in that kind of way, but it's very like open world. Like there is a role playing aspect. Like you are pirates, right? You are doing things together as pirates. You have a crew. You are fighting other pirates, right? Whatever the case might be. Oh wait, we're in the same area now. All right. Right, all that stuff is kind of happening. I'll wait for you. Are you still naked?
Yes, I'm naked.
Alright, don't mind that person. And alright, perfect. Now you have your gear. So, like, WoW is definitely cool, I want to say. Like, a lot of this, like, these areas and the things that you're doing, like, they're very interesting. If you look into, like, the lore of
Yo,
things
it's
like that.
it's Marcus Phoenix.
Oh my god, it's Carmine. Just see the name. It does look like Marcus Phoenix, though. You're not wrong with that headband. Or the headbandana.
Damn, keys are ruined. That was some serious. Just what kind of powder is this? Hey, help me grab some of this stuff.
I mean, like, you know, it's interesting. I like this game. I'm telling you. Like, even though like I don't really play retail WoW, like I would probably play it again if I had more people to play it with. The dungeons are hard though too. Like once you do harder dungeons, there are like entire dungeon lockout. I think it's like a thing in Destiny too, where it's like there's like dungeons and the dungeons have lockouts and stuff like that for like a week, I think. Or like in the old Destiny, it was like that.
Oh yeah, wait, I remember. You can only get the rewards like once a week or like
Once a
once.
week,
It was
yeah.
like
So
once
that's the
every Tuesday it would reset. I remember.
so the same thing is with the WoW. WoW has like the end game content. Oh my god, I would love to talk about end game content if I only knew what end game content was in these games, because like some of the end game content's really hard to do. In WoW, it's really hard to get to because am I behind you? Yeah, I am. The end game content for WoW is more or less like, all right, here's all this really cool stuff that you cannot do at all. And the only reason why you can't do it at all is because you need, like in retail WoW, even in classic, like I mean, you just need to be geared. People need to think that you're good enough to do the raid, right?
Yeah.
And the worst case scenario, they just carry you through it, like, and then you get your gear. Um, in retail WoW though, uh, the thing is that like you need like certain number. Some people won't put you in a group to do a dungeon, let's say, at a higher difficulty unless you have a certain number, right? So
Why is there so many dead crocodile things?
we're in the sewers. That's why we're escaping out of the Toldrigor sewers right now. Because we were just in jail because Jaina just got like sentenced to death pretty much. Because like her father or like I forget what the reason is.
Look
It's
at
something
your
of
father.
her father is not around anymore. Let's just say that. That is the lore you're gonna like I can at least explain, right? Like her father like passed away because he was a captain and he went down with the ship pretty much, right? And that's a giant worm that you could fight as a boss later on. In the when you come
Oh,
back here.
well, bye guy. Oh.
Yeah. That's a boss.
Oh.
If you come back and do the dungeon later on. It's the first boss you fight too. Because you go in through the sewers to go out to the top. And then you fight like a warden at the top. The fights are very interesting, I will say. Especially on the harder difficulties because you get one shot by things that you were trying not to do. You know? There's a lot of these things here. We don't need to fight these.
Oh,
But no, I know. I'll help you kill this last one. And then we need to go behind us, actually. To this way. And if you can also, you can equip your horse again and stuff. If you want.
I realized I need to take off some of these things, because what was it? Forgot I can't use
What?
them because I took off my shield.
Oh, right. Well, what are you? Are you using like protection or something now?
No, I'm using Fury, so I took off my shield.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah. I forgot that's the case. I think they let you use certain spells though if you were like in the other things. Like, oh, you could like use your Here, we come this way. Follow me.
Yeah, we need to go. What the hell's the mountain button?
What? Oh, you mean the well? Oh, you know what? Do you still have your
Oh wait, no, wait,
your
here we
mount?
go. Wait.
Your mount's a collection like item thing, so you need to like equip the mount. Yeah, perfect. All right. And now we will run off. But what was I saying before this? Right? The end game content, right? So like doing dungeons is like end game content, right? For some people, because they might not be able to get a group of let's say 10 to 20 people to do it. Raids, right? And the raids are harder too because they have a difficulty thing, right? And that's in every MMORPG. That's like the case, right? Even WildStar, which was like a very old one, but I thought that was like a really great MMORPG, and I didn't play it for that long. More or less, I played it when it was free, and it used to not be. It was a subscription thing. But the dungeons and the raids and fights were like in that game, like if I was a ranged character, let's say, it was a skill shot, right? So, which makes PvP a thing too, and I actually probably should segue into that at some point too, because PvP is a big point that people like to do in WoW. They do like to do endgame PvPing. That's like a whole system. It's an arena system with a matchmake rating and everything like that, trying to push for the highest you could possibly be. And then there's even competitions for it, right? There's competitive like WoW not raids. Well, there was like one like competitive like scene for that. They have the mythic dungeon competitions where you do the dungeon at the highest difficulty on like with certain like affixes that like make the dungeon harder, and you speed run against other groups pretty much to be who's the fastest and who can complete the dungeon in the shortest amount of time. And then there's the PvP one where it's just like, all right, it's like 3v3 in an arena. It's like, you gotta defeat the other team pretty much. But every class and combos are different, so like people like different styles and all that kind of stuff in PvP, which is interesting. So you get to see how those play out in those kind of things. With the competitive stuff, it's pretty cool. I think it's like a
This guy's
big
group
scene.
Simper 5. Simper 5. His guy's group is Simper 5.
Where you see that?
Right in front of us.
Oh, his guild is Semper 5. Yeah, it's Semper 5, yeah. That's another thing, though, too, guilds. Like, that's a way to connect people and group together. Where you can also make a guild bank and put a lot of, like, loot and gear and stuff into it, and, like, money. And then people could pull out from that if they let you. Mostly if you're a new player, though, they probably won't. Unless you build trust up, right? That's the type of thing. That's the community part. It's interesting. I think it's cool, though. And then here's your bank. So you store all your stuff if you want to store it. And there's a bank in every like major city, but you don't need to do it if you really don't want to.
I have like tons of backpack space right now. Can I go in there and rob it? I'm gonna go in and rob it.
In the old school WoW, you could somehow get behind the teller. That is a thing. I don't know how to do it, but only like certain classes could do it. But like you can do anything when you're back there. It's just like for funny. Like, oh, I got behind the teller and now I'm in the bank.
Is there a quest? Oh, this guy.
Oh, there is a quest here, but it's for like a mechanic for this expansion. You don't really need to do this. If you want the XP, sure. But it's gonna tell you it wants you to scrap pants. Or whatever it might tell you to scrap. And then you get the scrap cloth and you turn it back to this guy. So I got giving a scrap. Which is this is an achievement. It's also they're just like guiding us around. But endgame content, right? Every good MMORPG I feel like has a good endgame content, right? WoW is a great example of it, where they know how to do good endgame content. And even let's say like Final Fantasy 14. I never played it, but I heard it had a really good endgame content too. But that's also like a very story-based driven MMORPG.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. How does it fall into the whole Final Fantasy stuff? Really, that's the only one that's like an MMORPG, right? I thought
it is an MMORPG, Final Fantasy 14, but they gave you a lot more.
Like I thought that something like that would have been a what's it called? A spin-off instead of a main game.
Well, you know what? They actually had another one, and it's an older Final Fantasy thing. Where are we going? Actually, no.
I'm going down here. My quest is going down here.
Is it to enter the Harbor Master's office?
No, I already did that. I have the old knight.
No, we're doing the same thing. I'm just only let you know we're not going the right way.
I was gonna say this is definitely not the right way.
Here, come back with me. We need to go down, like by the docks. I'll show you.
Well, yeah. What with Final Fantasy 14? What was so special about it? Everyone like, cause I've looked up gameplay. The game looks horrible. Like graphics wise, it looks really bad.
I'm gonna say the story, cause it's actually like you can single player your story, right? You can group play your story, right? Whatever the case is. But like, there's actually like a story like that goes on in your MMORPG that you can like base the game off of and stuff that you, right? And that's kind of what you're able to do here with that one. And then there was even an older version of the like if old WoW was like like there's like the old WoW server, there's like an old Final Fantasy called Final Fantasy 11, I think, and that's like old school MMORPG. I've never played it. It looks kind of like similar to like old WoW or like EverQuest and stuff like that, and it probably acts the same way too. But there's still a community. Like there's still people playing it. You just have to go and either buy the game on Steam, I think, to play it, or you have to go online, look up the actual website, and buy and play it from there. So a lot of people play it like that too. which also then just reminds me about how there's like what like a lot of these some of these MMORPGs you have to find on like a website, right? Some of them might be like Maple Story, like the very old ones, right? Black Desert Online was another one.
Yeah.
But those are also like Korean MMOs, and there's also an argument for like people might make who are like which one's better. Like there's like which people might not understand like the point of or like what happens in a Korean MMO, but like compared to like a lot of the MMOs now, like me and Paul are leveling up really fast
Yeah, no, we're
right
like,
now.
what was
We're
it?
level 11 right now. In the old school and like those kind of Korean MMOs, it takes a really long time to level up, and it's just on purpose. That's just how it is. And there's no way around it. Like that's just how they were designed. Maple Story is a huge showcase of this. The first Maple Story, it like you might hit like there's like job rankings and stuff like that. So like the first 10 levels you might be let's say like an explorer they called it, right? And then for 10 levels it might take like a couple hours to get to level 10. Once you hit level 10, then you had to choose a job, right? And the job you choose determines what kind of like class you might become. And then there's later jobs in that too. So there's like, let's say in the beginning there's like a knight, a wizard, a ranger, and a thief, right? And there's like I think there's like one more. It's like a pirate or something. You have 5 jobs, and then you choose which way you want to go in those jobs. So like a pirate might be like a swashbuckler and like a gunner, right? Where like you have the gun or you have the sword, right? A thief might be either like a rogue or like a thief that throws like shurikens at people. Um, there's the warrior that is like you're like a knight or you're like a berserker or something. Um, the wizard might be like you're either like a fire mage or a frost mage, and the ranger people might be like you're either like a marksman or you have like a pet. So there's different like styles in it, but it takes a while to get them. It's like another like 30 levels, and then it's like another, and it breaks off even more for more like advanced level like specifications there, and it goes even further. So it depends on like what you're looking for too. Like clearly like, it's very complicated that Korean MMO. And WoW might seem complicated too, but at least there's like a tutorial system that teaches you how the game works and like what you need to showcase and things like that.
Yeah, no, I get
But
what you mean.
I just turned my HUD off. Oh my god, how do I turn it back? Okay, there it is. I forgot if you press Alt and S, if you hold Alt and then press S, or not S, Z, it turns off your HUD. Which is kind of cool if you want those cinematic shots.
Doesn't do it for me.
Maybe wait, Alt Z?
Alt Z? You mean Control? No.
No. Alt is like next to the Windows key.
Oh, I can choose to draw my weapons or not. No,
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can. I turned mine off, but like that's the. You can also like sit with X. There's a lot of different things here. I'll dance, right? We showed it off before. So I do like that Irish jig thing, right? Where I do the kicks.
No, you get all that.
Right, like you have a dance too, right? Like you could do slash dance, right? If you enter slash and then you do forward like slash then dance. Yeah, that's your dance. I could do a joke. Actually, I probably shouldn't do slash joke. I don't know what kind of jokes they have. They're very like PG jokes, I think, but I forget.
I did joke, it didn't do anything.
I could do like slash point.
Joke didn't work.
Oh yeah, it made me. What is it? What do they call it? Gesture maybe? No, they have like very like weird ones. I know points is one. I know fart is one.
Oh my god.
You could brush up. Yeah, it's so stupid. But it's like these like little things like keep like people like me like interested. Like it's just like oh I could always like roleplay if I felt like stupid in the moment, right? Like here I'm walking now. Like I'm gonna walk at you, right? What a point. Right? I could do like slash kneel. Right? Do like one of these. Like they're like entertain. Like this is like where the role playing stuff comes in. Like that's role playing. I feel like I'm gonna be honest. Like that's role playing. Like right. That's what role playing is. And then the RPG just came as like a term that they added into it later on. You know, and then they made RPG systems out of these games, and that's where we are today. You know.
Yeah.
So MMOs have really evolved over time, and they've definitely changed, right?
Cause like back in the 2000s, that's when they were all coming up all the time. But nowadays, you barely see them anymore.
And now, yeah, we barely see them anymore.
Like how we were talking
And-
about with Maple Story. Maple Story kind of like vanished.
Oh yeah,
one.
you're right.
Now
Maple
it's
Story
only-
was a
Now it's
Maple
only
Story was
available on like the
huge.
Korean servers, right?
The second game that they had, they did release it in North America, and then they got rid of it. And that was also a Korean MMO too, where it took a while to grind. It took me like a week. I tried to hit max level. It took me to get in that game, but it's I would say it was faster than, like WoW, you know.
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
But it was hard too. Like why does it take that long? I don't know. You know.
Yeah, and a lot of the MMOs from what was it, the 2000s, they're all gone now, pretty much.
Yep.
Right?
That's the
Like
case.
WoW. I think literally WoW is the only one that's standing from the 2000s.
WoW is the only and like EverQuest I want to say too. They still have that one, but
Oh,
I've
yeah,
never
EverQuest.
played it. EverQuest, maybe even Mabinogi, but I've never played Mabinogi before.
I never even heard of that one.
It's just it's like a life simulator. It's like WoW, like, but it's, let's say RuneScape, right? RuneScape-ish, but like very old style, and like it's kind of like the one I told you before, like where you have to like class build-ups and stuff, right? It's like jobs and things like that that you could go into, whatever the case might be, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cause like now that all the 2000 ones are dying, they're all trying to like bring them back now. Like
they are that.
a lot
yeah,
of
they
fans
are.
now are trying to bring them back with like revivals, or like they call them like revisit. Like Caleb mentioned before, the Build-A-Bear one that they're remaking now, which I didn't even know what the Build-A-Bear. I had no idea there even was one.
I didn't even know they were rebuilding one. That's
Like
interesting.
they're rebuilding that one. Pirates of the Caribbean is back. But like what's it? I tried it. It's so much more fun now. Cause now that they're coming back, they don't have premium anymore. They got rid of all the premium things.
That is true. So you can actually play the whole game now.
Yeah. Now it's like, cause like now I want to go back and just have fun with it.
Mhm.
Like that's why I was playing Pirates so much.
Okay.
Like what else? What was another one?
Well, I have a Build-A-Bear from one of the events they had. It was like Kooky Spooky Kitty, and every year they'd have this Kooky Spooky Funhouse on this island for Halloween. And it had this stupid maze game that I could never figure out how to beat. It was really annoying, but I still have a lot of certificates that still have the codes on it, and I look back at all the certificates and I'm like, wow, why did they get rid of this? And I did some research today. They got rid of Build-A-Bearville because they wanted to focus on making mobile apps, but those mobile apps eventually failed, and then they decided not to bring Bearville back.
Did you pick up a quest, Paul? Oh yeah, you
I
definitely did.
just do it.
All right.
But yeah, like,
There was.
Sony- So
yeah.
wait, why they get rid of it?
They wanted to focus on making mobile games instead of Bearville,
But they never
and
even made
those
any.
mobile
Wait,
games kind of failed. So then they were lost from there, and they left Build-A-Bearville to die.
why?
I don't know. It was a very popular game among kids, especially since you can make your own Build-A-Bear, and then you can register, and then you carry it around your backpack. Like, it was a cute little thing to do. I believe it was a pretty safe environment for people. I never really encountered bad people.
Well, did they have a premium thing or no?
No, you had to buy a Build-A-Bear.
That was probably one reason why then there's no premium.
You could buy a $10 bear, and then register it online. There's Build-A-Bears for like $10.
Cause maybe some people would.
But even then, you could play without a Build-A-Bear.
Yeah.
It was a free-to-play game.
Oh, that's the thing. If they're able to play without a Build-A-Bear, then like they literally have like there's no way of making money then.
Yeah, that's the thing though too, right? Like these
Well,
people are.
Build-A-Bear was really at its prime, so I don't know what they were really worrying about with money, because they were making a lot of money off of Build-A-Bears.
I mean, they'll make the money off the Build-A-Bears, but like if they're allowed to play for free, then like there's also like a point where it's like, all right, we should incentivize people to like still want to purchase the Build-A-Bear itself, because there's like a price. Like same thing with WoW Classic and WoW the really release. If I want to carry my character over from Classic into the new server, I have to pay like $40 to transfer a character over, or around $40, right? Because that's how much like my character's over there. I can't duplicate him over to the other thing without having him. then I have to level up all over again, right? And that might take another week's worth of time to do that, you know. So like, but like, granted, that's not the same case with this, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like more or less like, oh, how do we sell the merchandise? I want to say is like a way you could see it.
Well, they had special events for some bears. Like they had Rudolph, they had the North Pole out appear every Christmas, and Rudolph and
Okay,
Clarice would be there. They had special themed music you could listen to in the game. They had
but
that Halloween thing, like I said.
but did you have to pay to get any of that though, or that was just like part of the game?
No, but it was just they appear there and then they
Uh,
advertise the Build-A-Bears on top of
okay.
sending these little newsletters to your emails and then to
Yeah,
your
the email.
actual home.
Yeah, they have these email marketing incentives that like they want you to come back, right? Like, or they'll be like, all right, like we got new content available, and then you go back and play the new content, and you do that
Yeah.
stuff.
And then you'd receive little pamphlets in the mail for holidays about what
Yeah. Oh,
bears they released.
I think Club Penguin did that too with the Puffles, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Right.
yeah, the Puffles and Club Penguin.
And that was a system too that I felt like was a lot, but you couldn't get like more than like what was it, the blue Puffle in the beginning, right? If you
Blue
didn't.
and red.
Well, yeah,
If you had
I think the
VIP,
red
you
was
could get the
later.
rainbow puffle.
Rainbow Puffle. But, like that's the thing, right? So you couldn't get a new pet, right, without doing whatchamacallit.
VIP.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Build-A-Bear was unlimited. You could have as many bears as you want in your home. I probably had like
Wait, I didn't look that
50
guy.
Build-A-Bears in my home.
Regarding increased company presence on site,
What guy are you talking about? Oh, that guy.
Yeah, I never got to loot this guy. Alright, back to what you were saying about the Build-A-Bear.
So that was pretty much it, though, really. Then, right? I mean, that's what they got really going for them in that case.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they did really well with Bearville, especially since they're rewriting it,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of kids in our age range remember Build-A-Bearville and wanted it back, and there's a whole rally on TikTok about it after the Build-A-Bear rewritten announcement.
Oh, there
was
really a
posted
TikTok
there.
rally on that? Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people our age that still enjoy Build-A-Bear, and they remember it. Like me.
It's a
It would be nice to
nostalgia.
have it back.
It's a nostalgia.
Pretty much.
Well, like I said, I had that Kooky Spooky Kitty Build-A-Bear that was from that Halloween event. And every time I bring it in, they're like, wow, how old is this? And I said, 2009.
Wow.
That's about 11 years now.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Maybe 12.
Almost 12. Yeah.
And then I
Lord.
had the Holly and Hal's Christmas adventure thing. They had an original series called Holly and Hal with these two moose characters where Moose wanted to be a reindeer on Santa's team.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that little moose I had with the light up antlers that I showed you once, Paul. I don't know if
yeah.
you've seen
I
it.
think I saw it, yeah.
They had a little short for that and a little event on Bearville for that. But like I said, I feel like they had a lot of great marketing tactics, especially since they had the appeal of carrying a Build-A-Bear in your backpack. It's
Mhm.
different than Webkins, because Webkins you strictly had to have a Webkins in order to play on
Yeah.
Webkins.
That was the
So
thing.
if you tried registering, you had to have a Webkins on hand. Otherwise, you can't play the game.
That's true, but like that's the thing. Like, do they gatekeep you off, right? But like, as long as they don't gatekeep you off, then you're good. You know.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about getting gatekeeped at that point. Right, but that's like the same thing with like these subscriptions. Like, oh, you're getting gatekeeped and WoW and everything else too. You know, eventually with like the fact it's gonna be like, okay, you gotta pay a subscription to play the game.
But in reality, with WoW, I feel like the quality is there to pay for it every month.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. Like, what you get is what you paid into
What?
it, really.
What did I just do?
I'll use a sword.
There's a lot of value in what you pay.
Wait,
It's just an active item. That's what it was.
oh, now it's gone.
It's alright. Don't worry. It's just a thing you use in the area for like AOE.
Alright, back to what we were saying.
Yeah, but the quality really is there, right? I'm gonna pay money to make sure a high quality game comes out, but then like, how high quality is my game at? I mean, in my case, I've played WoW for so long. Whenever if I decide that's what I want to do for a bit of time, right? Like during the pandemic, I was playing WoW for a bit, right? That was a big thing for me. It was like, okay, the pandemic happened. All right, time to go back to playing WoW for a bit. right? Level some characters, but like I still enjoyed it, right? I still enjoyed doing dungeons with random people. The misfortune sometimes of a dungeon group failing, like going through the whole thing, like that, like those, like like that's like a bit of like the part that like I enjoyed, right? I want to say, even though it might not sound that great, like that's just me like looking on the positive side of things and seeing how like even like a bad thing could like end up being like fun still if the situation went rough. Um, but you definitely are paying a lot of money when it comes to like WoW. I mean, like let's say Star Wars: The Old Republic. I feel like is one. Actually, that's a great one. When we were talking about Final Fantasy before and like story-driven MMOs, Star Wars: The Old Republic is one of the good ones. I want to say that has a story-driven thing because a lot of the choices you make are in that game, right? Like you will make a choice, like even if you're a good side or bad side, whatever, right? Right? If you're like the rebels or
The
the
Sith.
Empire, right? The Sith people, right? You're still allowed to choose between like I could be a good Sith. I could be a like a morally good Sith, or I could be a morally evil Jedi, right?
When does that game take place? During
That
Clone
takes place.
Wars?
No, it takes place years and years before any of the actual Star Wars
Okay, I was
universe
gonna say
exists.
because it's called the Old Republic. I know there was an Old Republic in the lore of Star Wars or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. And that's like, but like it was interesting for like that, right? Like you can make choice, like you have companions. You could like make your companions happy with certain choices. You can make some of your companions really pissed off about certain of your choices, right? Like there's always like that one opposite moral one. If you're like a Jedi, there's like one evil one, right? That you can like approve, like you could definitely make like happy if you felt like that's what you wanted to do, right? As opposed to, let's say, Sith, like there's always gonna be like that one Jedi, like well, not like a Jedi. Well, I think that's actually what it is. Actually, it's like a Jedi, and then you make the Jedi happy in your like group of companions, and they will like work better with you and stuff like that in the MMO. So it was like very interesting. Like they put like a lot of thought into that game, just like WildStar 2. They put a lot of thought into that. Like every range class has skill shots. Even melee classes have skill shots like with cones and stuff like that.
Man.
Um, just to like show you like even like if you were like if a healing class, the medic was like one of the main classes in that game. They have like AoE heals, AoE like spells and stuff like that. Like really cool. Like the systems are very interesting. But like that's the thing. Like now these MMOs are like not around anymore, and it kind of sucks. Like
Yeah.
that they were great games, and now they don't really exist anymore. And I like that they tried to revive it in a sense, but it's also hard because you have to gotta like data mine for like the info they need.
Yeah.
So
Ars herbalism. What's that?
so there's like little like special skills in this game. It's like if you want like potions and stuff, you need like herbalism, and then you need to go like farm for herbs and like run around. Like there's mining nodes, right, where you can go around and mine, things like that of those nature that exist. But honestly, I think we really covered like a lot of the topics. I feel like when it comes to MMORPGs, I think
Oh,
that's kind of really it. I mean,
I,
unless you have anything else you want to say, right?
I think we missed two more we got left.
Which one do you want to bring
Like
into
talking
it?
about how the game's being rewritten. What do we think it's okay that all these companies are DMCAing a lot of them?
Um, I don't think it's okay. I think it's like if people's passion project was that game, right? Um, like I'm lucky like we haven't seen like the Toontown rewrittens like get DMCA'd by
Yeah.
Disney,
Like
you know.
that's what I'm
But Fusion
surprised that
Fall
that one
was. But
hasn't.
Fusion Fall was.
Yeah,
You know.
Fusion Fall was taken down immediately, and I was really upset over that because like that was the game like I wanted to like how did the story go and everything. I wanted to keep playing it. That's why I
Mhm.
got excited when they announced it, and it's like, oh, they canceled it because DMCA. Thank you,
But
Cartoon Network.
yeah, it sucked with that one. I felt like that was a big hit for anyone that actually enjoyed it.
From a legal standpoint, are they using assets ripped from the game directly?
I
It's pretty much
I
is
mean,
the game again, like
it's
entirely.
they're not like I think with the thing with Toontown is like this is like a love letter to like the game, right? So they just they have to like understand like that's what they put into it, right? They like made it like known that like what we're doing. It's like everything like all credit goes to Disney for Toontown rewritten, right? In this case, and anything like it's just like we're basing off the game from what they made, and anything else is essentially going to be just like either like like some of them like there's like Toontown Corporate Clash, which is like it's like a iteration, like they added more stuff to it, right?
Yeah.
They did like balance changing and stuff like that, which maybe in that case like that is like you took Disney assets and like you changed it, so who knows, right? In that case, it's a completely different story.
Another one I'm surprised that they didn't take down either. Pirates of the Caribbean, when they're back up with just called Pirates Online now.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
surprised they didn't get taken down when they kept in all the characters like what was it, Jack Sparrow and all them. I thought they were gonna take them out of the game or something to avoid it, but they just kept them in.
I guess so.
I was really surprised by that.
Oh my god, wait. I just remembered there was a Tinkerbell MMO called Pixie Hollow.
What?
I think she's right. I actually do.
Was there?
Yes.
Was there
remember.
actually? I've never heard
Yeah.
of this.
It got rewritten too. It's very old. It's from like 2008. I never played it, but I heard about it.
I never I forgot about it, honestly.
I never heard of this one either. This is new to me.
It just randomly appeared in my head because you guys mentioned Disney. It closed down in around 2013. That's when Tinkerbell kind of died.
Disney had a lot of MMORPGs.
Disney has tried to make a lot. I feel like Disney has definitely gone out of its way to do a lot of like online social gamings or MMORPGs.
The Great
And
Sea
it's been
Scrolls.
successful for a lot. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what, Paul?
I got the Sea Scrolls. What? And
Oh,
Black-
you got like
and
there's
Black
like pickup
Rum.
quests. You did get Black Rum. But it's like that's like a junk item that you could sell for a lot of gold.
Yeah,
That
like
item though,
13 gold.
the scroll casting thing is it's to get like a blue piece of gear, but it requires you to go like around, and it's just like a lot of waiting to like find the like to get the stuff, and then like you just do it. You do it while you quest. It's a simple thing like that. But yeah, in regards to the DMCAing, right? Like Fusion Fall got taken out because it's Cartoon Network, and I guess Cartoon Network just felt like there's a lot of going into that though. It's not like Disney made like every Disney character into an MMO, right? Like Cartoon Network's like Fusion Fall is every single character from the universe.
That is
So,
true.
like-
It's every Cartoon Network character and like.
So like
Boomerang,
technically
all
like
them.
there's a lot more going. Yeah, so I mean it just depends on like I guess their like how they see it, right? And that's probably why they end up taking it down. But there's so much like going into it. Like now they're just like working with all those assets. Like
Yeah,
for them, it maybe makes sense why they got rid of it.
maybe. But here's the thing with it. They're not. It's like with Nintendo.
Yeah, they're not
They're not
profiting.
monetizing
It's like what-
it?
No, it's not monetized. It's like what we mentioned with Nintendo during our other stream. Is that like they don't get money from it. It's just a fan thing. Like that's the thing. If they were getting money off of it, okay, maybe it's a different story. But like they're not, so it's like why?
Yeah, I'm not sure honestly. It's really just like outlandish what they do, like what they're like thinking.
Yeah.
Like if they want to like take out what people really loved from like a game, it sucks. But at that point, it is what it is. I think maybe it's too late now to go back and try to fix those things because it's happened.
Yeah.
It
Sucks. Honestly.
it does suck, and honestly, like I kind of wish it was like better. I kind of wish that like they maybe worked with the companies that did it. Like if they have people who are so passionate about those kind of projects, like to
Yeah.
work with like devs who were like in it and maybe ask them like questions. Like they shouldn't just kill it off, right? They should at least give it a fair shot at a lifespan. I had something in my head. I forgot I was gonna mention. in regards of MMORPGs, but I don't remember entirely.
One thing I was thinking about is like how do you think almost every single MMORPG is made with the idea like, okay, this could be the WoW killer, like you said before, like
Oh,
there's
okay, you did just remind me then of what
A
my
WoW
topic was gonna be.
formula?
So there's new
no, not the WoW
MMOs coming
form,
out.
like a WoW killer, like taking down WoW from its
Well,
it's
Oh.
that was
never
WildStar tried doing that, right? And that was my point where they tried to incentivize, like, you know, whole guilds were coming over at one point from WoW to go play this one, right?
yeah.
And now that's not the case anymore, right? It died out, right? It only lasted for a while, then it went free to play. Now they're coming out with those new MMOs that are really interesting for me to talk about because they actually might be good enough to kill WoW. It's because WoW has been going downhill like recently.
Has that actually?
Yeah, 30% of like their player base is like died out in I think across all their genres, right? I mean, look at like how many things Blizzard has attempted to do, right? Here's the Storm. They've tried to do a MOBA genre. They tried to do a card game genre. They have tried to do a hack and slash style, but Diablo's good in my opinion. It's just the fact that they need to make the fourth one, and we need to see if it's good or not from there.
No, I know
Then there's also the RTS games, and then there's the team-based shooter. So they really go ever, and now and they made the movie. So like they really just try everything, you know.
pretty much.
And
They just want all
whether
the bases covered, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Like the shooter genre for them was good enough with Overwatch. Now they're making Overwatch 2, you know.
I think
Whether or not
I think
that might
they just
be.
want a piece in every market they can.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then whether or not their team. Yeah, but you know what the issue is though? Like the design, like the lead heads of those teams are not like staying around anymore. I think
Someone
I
from
forget.
Overwatch left.
Yeah, someone from
Oh
Overwatch
yeah,
left
literally the head
recently.
of Overwatch, Jeff Kaplan left.
Jeff Kaplan left, and I think like a while ago, a couple of the old WoW heads decided to leave too. It was just like because it's not the same anymore. Like the theory of the game is not there. You know, like it's not the same stuff.
Do you think a WoW killer will eventually rise?
Ashes of Creation, I think, is the one that I keep hearing. It's not the one I think that's made by Amazon. That's like a different one that they're trying to make. Oh yeah, that's like the thing too. Amazon was like, yeah, screw it, we could do an MMO too. So they made one, and now they were doing a beta for it and stuff. But like they're also listening to player feedback from the beta on how to make the game better. You know, like wow, I could say like there's so many things that like they don't make any sense, right? Where it's like, oh, like all the
Like there definitely will be one eventually. There's no way a game will last forever. Like it'll die at some point. Like even like
Yeah.
even like TF2. I love TF2 to death. Like it stays around. Like it still won't die, but like it's gonna get there if Valve doesn't do something. It's like that.
Well, I heard that they're gonna bring a lot of Steam games to Switch. Gabe
oh,
announced
that
it
is
the
that
other
they are
day.
doing that. They are doing that. You're right.
So I don't know.
That's a weird one.
See how that turns out. Well, it's probably gonna be like Portal and all the stuff that's already on console. Like the orange box is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the orange box was a thing that I remember.
They'll probably port the orange box. Not like you could play TF2 and stuff.
Where did I go, Paul? Are you? Like,
I went in
watching
the
cut-
what?
Are you in the cutscene?
I wasn't. I just finished the cut.
Okay. So I'm not losing my mind. Okay, I'm just like trying to figure out how I catch up to what you're doing.
Free up space in my bag, bro. My bag is pretty fun.
You could just drag stuff out that you don't want to have in your inventory. If that's the case. Like you can just drop things. It's fine. But Ashes of Creation is the one that like that's the big one. That's actually like the one that's like supposed to be really good.
Is
And
it
it's
made
gonna-
by Amazon?
No, it's the other one is New World or something it's called. That might be the one. I think it's something like that. I'll look it up in a second. Actually, hold on. What is the name of it called? New World, I think is what it. Yeah, New World is the game that they're making. Gonna be produced
I've
by
never heard of this.
the engine they're running it off of is something called Amazon Lumberyard too. I've never heard of that either. But it's being published by Amazon Game Studios.
Wait, yeah, wait, what? They have a Amazon has a game. Oh yeah, wait, I forgot. Yeah, they're
This is
doing
my point.
games
They
for
have that gaming thing.
Amazon Lumberyard. What?
It's
Luna?
that's their whatchamacallit. That's what the game's gonna run off of. Like that's the actual operating. Well, not the operating system. What am I saying? It's the actual
The
Like
engine.
develop like
the
the
engine.
developers, the
Yeah.
engine.
Well,
But
don't they have a game cloud
Do they
service
have?
called Luna?
I
Something like
don't
that.
know.
they might.
Amazon Luna.
Safe passage to you.
Amazon Luna is a cloud gaming service. They do have one. Okay.
That's cool.
I've never heard of it, but they
I
have
don't know
one.
if it's part of my Prime subscription.
I
It
don't
would be
know.
nice to
Maybe.
receive a few months
It
of it to
might
test it out.
be a part. Oh, you know, it's like early access price is what I'm seeing. It's like $6 a month to play it. So
Oh,
maybe
that's
that's
not
why
bad.
I haven't really heard about it yet.
Do you think it'll kill Google Stadia?
I mean, see,
I think they're
to
both
kill,
gonna be
see, to
competing
kill
against each
something,
other.
it has to be alive to begin with.
Well, it
Google,
looks like it has a
That's-
lot
you-
of
you- you're
games
not
like
wrong.
Sonic Mania and
Google,
stuff.
Google Stadia hasn't been around because it requires too much like bandwidth to actually like make it good.
Oh, they got Trails of Cold Steel on here. Alright,
they
they
might be like a
actually
lot
have a
of.
good selection.
Oh, we don't.
They might.
Wait, we do
They
get
might have
fall
a good
damage.
selection.
Okay, this is
There is fall
realistic.
damage in this game. Yeah, if you jump off a building in this game that's like high enough, you will splat. Like that is a thing. You should try not to splat. But there's also like flying mounts. So like in reality, like you could just fly around eventually. You will not have that chance though in this free trial. I will let you know that. They won't let you do it.
Too bad it's not a part of my Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised it isn't a part of Prime. If they made it a part, you know what? That's the thing though. If they make it a
If
part
they
of
made it a
Prime,
part of Prime, Prime's gonna be a lot of money. It's already a lot of money. It's about $120 a year.
I mean, I think like if you opt into it with Prime, that would make more sense.
Oh,
Probably.
like Amazon Music Unlimited? Where there's an
Yeah,
extra
if
fee?
because like, all right, what happens if like you're like a mom, right? Like you're not gonna play video games, you
Oh.
know? I mean, okay, that sounds stupid, right? Let's say like you're a hardworking mom and you work a 9 to 5, right? And like, I'm not talking about like I'm not saying like your kid's gonna want to play. I'm just saying like your kid, yeah. Let's just say your kid is like uninterested in games, right? So like, it doesn't make any sense like why you should be paying it now, in this case. So it should be like an incentive. Where like if you want to do it, you should be incentivized to do it. If that's the case, and then like opt into it, and then you should be paying more money if that's the case.
There's
But
pretty good games. Shantae, Sonic Mania,
yeah, if the games are good, I think like if the games that
RE7,
are provided, if the games that are provided are good, then it should be like a good
Castlevania
service.
Anniversary Collection, Far Cry.
But you know what the thing is though too, it's like what service hasn't offered it yet before, right? And then it's like,
Yeah, because when I look at this, I think of Game Pass.
Yeah. 'Cause
But
now that's gonna
isn't
be an
Game
issue.
Pass more money?
Game Pass is. A
So
lot.
if those Game Pass games are also offered on here, like, what would you apply for at that point? Would you pay cheaper to play these games, or do you continue paying and expect more from Game Pass?
great question.
Because some of these games I feel like I've seen on streaming services before. These are like the common games on a streaming service. Maybe Google
I
Stadia
don't know,
has
it's
some
the
of
last of
these.
his crew. There's a bird over there.
Oh, that's a rare. Wait, fight it.
There's Assassin's
How do I
Creed
fight it?
on here.
I got it.
You're the ranged person, not me.
Well, you can walk near them and they aggro onto you too, so that's how.
How am I fighting while I'm swimming? This doesn't make any sense.
There is. Well,
Okay,
okay.
ow.
Wait, that's also. Oh my goodness, I can't move. So Guild Wars 2 is a game I could talk about. They actually have an underwater combat system where the
What?
weapon that you have changes. Yeah, the weapons you have change. Oh my god, we should talk about that game because I forgot. That's a great game. Guild
Is
Wars
that
2.
the game you wanted to talk about?
I would love to have showed that game off. I talked about it for a bit,
Suck.
like, but I think I talked about it maybe. I forget, or I might have told you guys before.
I don't think you did. I don't think you said on stream. No.
Yeah, on stream I might have not said it. Which that was a game that's supposed to be like a WoW killer kind of game. In the case of it though, I will definitely say that it has like every weapon changes your like you could be a certain class and every weapon that you equip will change what type of abilities you have. And that's like really interesting, I feel like that's something that like a lot of games you don't really see that like ever now. I think like the only one that's like kind of doing that is Ashes of Creation. I think is like the no, not Ashes of Creation. I think the new world that they're coming out for with Amazon. Like if you equip like a spear, you're gonna get like all spear based abilities, and if you level up your spear like abilities and stuff like that, you're gonna gain more of the like you're gonna gain like new spells and everything to like utilize for that spear. Um, and other things like that. Oh my god, this. Whoa! All right. So, like that's interesting, right? Definitely like a concept that like a lot of these. It's whether or not they decide to do that though. These the devs. But I think that's really cool. I think that adds more like flavor to a game and the gameplay for the content that you can do with it. So
How do we get
there's
up
like
here?
very good ways to make an
Oh
MMORPG.
wait, never mind. It's right here.
Was it a chest? Yeah. Hopefully there's something nice in the chest. Oh, you got another scroll. Yeah. Oh, because you're on that quest now, right? Yeah. But you can see there's so many quests in WoW, right? There's like all
No,
these different like.
oh my god, my whole thing is
Yeah.
full.
Yeah. Well, you're allowed to have like 20 quests at a time.
Oh my god.
So that right side of the screen that has quest on it, like it could really get big. It just depends on whether or not you decide to pick up a lot of quests.
It's too far away.
Oh thank god.
But I don't know. I mean, like, I still enjoy WoW. I think at the end of the day, like that's it's like, can they pull me away from it for all these new MMORPGs? Like, we'll have to see. I'm kind of looking forward to Ashes of Creation, though. I might end up playing that. I might end up trying to run a town in Ashes of Creation. That's like one of their big
Wait,
selling
what?
points. You're gonna
Wait,
be like
really?
like you could be like a town mayor or something like that, and then like other players around you will like, well, you know, we're gonna like make town decisions, right? Who is this guy? Oh, it's a Watcher. They're an enemy in that Westfall place I was gonna show you, Paul. That's what I was gonna try to get you to. They're like a mechanical robot. So you could be like an owner of a town, right? Whatever the case is, right? If people elect you into that position as the mayor, and then if people don't like you in that position anymore, right? It's like real life. They're gonna like kick you out,
Just
and they're gonna yeah, exactly. They're gonna impeach you at some point, or when the next like town voting comes in, they'll elect a new mayor, right? Or whatever the case might be, you know. And I already like the guy who I watch like in content wise for streaming and stuff like that. Like I already know who, like he's big in WoW too. His name is Asmongold. He's gonna end up being uh like a big. Like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like a mayor. Like it's gonna be like one of those things where like Twitch chat wants him to be the mayor, and everyone around his community is gonna want him to run a town, and we're gonna see what happens with something like that, right? And whether or not he might run a server down or a town down with that, you know? Like it'll be like interesting. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be a lot of like content to see, like, and what that might end up being.
It sounds like a good concept.
It's a cool concept. It's gonna be like, you know, it's still gonna be like MMORPGs, right? Like it's gonna be like WoW, right? It's gonna act like WoW. It's gonna play like WoW, but it's gonna act like that's like an additional system, right? At some point too, like there's also like a thing where like the world might change. So like somebody, like I was reading onto it, or like I heard from like so like let's say you're in a server where it's only winter, I'll say, and it never stops being not winter, right? As opposed to
Okay,
a
this is
player.
getting really filled.
I know. I didn't think that was even a quest. I didn't even know that was one.
Oh,
But
so the seasonal aspect to it?
yeah, like, but like everything, like there might be a volcano that like comes out of nowhere, let's say,
What?
right? And
Yeah,
now that
that's cool.
and now that like there's a volcano out of nowhere, because it like those areas are like hot climate stuff, right? You have to wear like certain gear or whatever the case might be. Otherwise, you're gonna take like, or you might be like weakened in like the weather and conditions and stuff like that, right? And when that mount or like that volcano erupted, let's say, right, or whatever the case is, right? When the volcano erupted, now there's a bunch of there's gonna be like a boss that spawned in that volcano area, or like a dungeon or whatever, and
Let's fuck this dude.
only the people that control that area that you're able to fight in. Like if I own that town area, like I own all that stuff, right? Like I own everything. So if you're from another town or like another faction, I'm gonna guess because like this is gonna end up happening. Like people are gonna end up like being like let's fight for a town or whatever, right? Now I own this town. I own that mountain that exploded into a volcano, whatever the case was, and now there is a mining node where like you can get a super secret ore for crafting, and only if you're a part of my group you can do it, or you have to fight me and take it back. So it's gonna be interesting to see how like all that comes together. Where there's gonna be a lot of player interaction between other players, between the actual environment in the game. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes. You know,
Yeah.
and it's only in concept right now, but um, like who knows what it might be
I think the
in the long
seasonal
run.
aspect could be achieved because I remember Gen 5 of Pokemon achieved that aspect where it would change the seasons every month.
Did it really?
Yeah, Black and White and Black and White 2 changed the seasons every month.
Oh, you're right. I think doesn't every Pokemon do that? I
No,
thought though.
only Black
No?
and White did that.
Really? I did not
That
know
was a
that.
great part of Black and White that everyone seems to forget because there was a Pokemon named Sawsbuck and Deerling who would
Mhm.
change forms to the season.
Oh, okay.
So it could definitely be achieved.
Yeah, it just depends on like. Well, I mean, I think in an MMORPG, it's like it's gonna take more, especially it's like every server, right? Every server
Yeah.
might end up being a different thing.
What's
So that's what.
behind us we can get rid of?
Oh, there's more quests. Yeah. Well, you have one I think that you might have turned into some. I didn't do local favor. Well, I'm sorry, local flavor for juicy lurker tails. I need one more. I don't know where it is though.
Oh, it's just like you just gotta kill lurkers.
Yeah, I know. I get that, but I don't know where any lurkers are. Do you see any lurkers? All you see are these harpy sirens. But I'm looking forward to like seeing what ends up happening. Um, but who knows, right? It's only gonna be in the future at this point. Like whatever might come out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the MMO genre might evolve into, and whether or not Blizzard, I guess, is gonna end up running themselves down with the declining player base and everything else with their business models.
I mean, I would argue Blizzard might be going a little bit downhill. That
I
might
th
be
I
kind
think
of.
it's been I think a lot of it's been going downhill, to be honest. Just a lot of their choices are like very like irrational, like from a company standpoint.
Well, I don't understand why they need an Overwatch 2 if it's gonna be the same thing.
You know
Yeah.
what? Because they want to make it so because like okay, in reality, like Overwatch currently right now, I'll say like for the main part it's PvP, right? But now they want to make a PvE aspect like as a main thing, like a story
But that's
mode.
the thing. They already had a PVE though. It was just an event
Why
It was
can't
just
they
thing.
but
just add it?
they were events, you know. That's the
But they
issue.
can't just add it to the original game?
I that's yeah. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying, like, why should people have to pay more money just for that aspect if they could already add it onto their original game?
Yeah.
Hmm. Who knows?
Good day to you.
What exactly are we doing?
I
I'm
think we
trying to
should-
think now. I mean, I think we kind of covered like every topic though,
Yeah.
really.
Now I think we've got. I think we've gotten everything. What?
I actually so this is the party syncing thing that you could have done. So like now it's like if we didn't do every quest together, like anything that we did together is synced.
Okay.
I was trying to do it before, but it was saying that you were in a class trial, but that was because we were in the tutorial place.
Finest wares in Cold Terrace, right there.
So don't mind that. I actually probably should unlink that to be honest, but it is what it is.
Oh, I got a ship in the bottle I can sell for a lot of
You
gold.
could sell it for money. True, money does run this game.
Yeah, I think we're all done now, pretty much.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think that's really like all the MMO genres, like even the new ones, the old ones, the DMCA ones. Like,
DMC.
I mean, come on. I mean, that's kind of really what it is, right? I don't really know what else
The
to like segue off
unfortunate
this.
reality.
That's the unfortunate reality, and hopefully with the future we can maybe see a bit more diversity in these things. But until then, honestly, I think we'll just have to wait and see.
I don't know. Do you think companies find any appeal in MMOs?
I I think it's just hard to run. I mean, look at Oh my God, wait, I forgot.
I feel
Uh,
like they care more about gacha games like Genshin Impact.
Well,
I think there's
because they
they're
want
simpler.
microtransactions to constantly get money.
Well, on TikTok, someone made a video of the amount of money made per character that was released in a banner, and some of them made over $20 million just from that short banner.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think if I were to make a game like, yeah, I would rather just do that. Oh my, that's way better.
I think it's easier though too to like
That's
run
also
those kind of
yeah,
games.
that's way
That's
easy.
what I'm saying. I think the appeal is more in gacha games.
I think at the moment it kind of is, right? But I mean, speaking of like the newer ones, I remember that I think like right now, what was it? Riot Games is like trying to make like a TV show, right? Like that's like their new thing for Netflix
Wait,
or whatever the
wait,
case
they
was,
have.
right?
Oh
It
yeah,
looks
the league. Oh
great.
yeah, the league show.
I'm
League show.
excited for that because they use the
But
cinematic style.
yeah, but they're also trying to make a MMORPG, I believe. And
Yes.
the only reason why I
And a
remember
fighting
this being
game.
the
Don't
case,
forget the fighting game
well,
too.
no, but we know that that's a thing, right? They've shown that off. But with an MMORPG, the reason why I'm saying that is because we have seen, or like I've actually, well, not really we've seen, but like, no, yeah, people online have like definitely looked on like their website for careers. I've just looked around to see what's going on. But I remember them talking about like open like for like it was like people who made MMORPGs, I believe. It was like when you were looking for people who have had experience in this area. So it's an avenue they're looking into. You know, I don't know how long it's gonna take. I think they said it was gonna take like 7 years or 6 years.
You want a
Make it.
crossbow, John?
Appreciate
Hmm?
your
What kind of
patronage.
crossbow you want it?
No, my character can't even use a crossbow.
Neither can
Someone
I.
from the balancing team recently transferred over to the MMO team.
Exactly. No, that's my point. See. So like now we have all these like new things that we're gonna be looking forward to for the future. We just have to. I just hope it's good. You know, I just hope that everything that comes out of these systems and everything like is what they will be. You know,
Yeah.
There's Dungeon Crawler coming out this year.
which one?
Ruined King.
Oh, that one
Oh.
game. That yeah,
I
that's
want to
true.
play it.
It looks good. It looks interesting. But you know, I think it was gonna be like like a phone or like a mobile game though.
No, it's for PS4, Switch, Steam.
Oh,
It's
okay.
for most major platforms.
All right, never mind then. My bad.
I might just buy it on PC at that point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be buying it on PC, playing it on PC, and then that's kind of where it goes at that point. But
Because the
they're,
whole theme this year for
but
their characters is Ruined King.
yeah, they're seeking out more avenues though. And yeah, I mean that's really all I can say at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I think we've gotten everything covered now.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to call it for the episode?
Yeah, I'm ready to
Yeah, we
call it
could.
at this point. I think that's where we should leave off.
Yeah. All right then. Well, let's look at the schedule for our upcoming weeks. All right. Next episode, we got Persona 5 Royal on the 28th. Then we're going to be talking about MOBAs, specifically League and Dota 2, over on June 11th. Then after that, we're going to talk about music in video games. And then over in first one in July, and July 9th, is going to be how video games have connected all of us through like different people, with friends and such. And then after that, well, we have not yet decided on a topic yet, but we will update it. Hopefully next episode, it should be up to date with all our topics. But for now, thank you for watching, everyone, and we're gonna call it here for an episode.
Thank you guys so much for. Ah!
Are you okay? What? John?
I'm good. No, I used a toy.
What happened?
I turned myself into a toy. I turned into like a stone statue thing.
Oh, I see
For
you.
there's a lot of toys in this game. I would love to show a bit more off. Here, like there's just like this one, I guess. But you know, yeah. My bad. I'll end my part here. Thank you guys so much for watching.